Nintendo Switch is a home video game console. You connect it to your television to play games. But what sets it apart is when you want to play away from your TV, you can remove it from the dock, get up, and go. Attach the Joy-Con controllers, and you can play anywhere. Nintendo Switch is designed to let you play games when and where you want. TV mode. TV mode is for playing games the traditional way on your television. Remove the Joy-Con from the Joy-Con grip to play in a more relaxed manner. Some games allow you to hold each Joy-Con horizontally to enjoy multiplayer gaming. Handheld mode. Attach the Joy-Con to the console and you can enjoy handheld mode. Take Nintendo Switch with you and play anywhere you like. You can play while charging the system using the included AC adapter. USB charging and other USB certified portable charging devices will work as well. Tabletop mode. By propping the Nintendo Switch up with its stand and detaching the Joy-Con controllers, you can play in tabletop mode. This allows you to share the screen with others even when you're away from your TV. Nintendo Switch can connect over Wi-Fi for multiplayer gaming. Up to 8 consoles can be connected for local wireless multiplayer. Joy-Con. Each Joy-Con includes gyroscope and accelerometer technology, so intuitive controls using movement or tilt are possible. The new HD Rumble feature allows for high-definition vibration. It can reproduce sensations and experiences in entirely new ways. The right Joy-Con has an infrared motion camera. It's able to approximate the distance to an object and what shape it is. The right Joy-Con also has NFC read and write functionality that supports Amiibo. The left Joy-Con has a capture button that allows you to snap screenshots. The ZL and ZR buttons are comfortable to reach and easy to press. There are clickable control sticks and SL and SR buttons for use when the Joy-Con are held horizontally. The Joy-Con controllers fit a lot of features into one small package. Nintendo Switch. Switch and play.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finals of this European Go4 on Splatoon. We have had some amazing competitions going on where you guys have been able to fight with your friends online to see who are the best teams, and we have got these 4 best teams here with us in the studio for your pleasure. So they will be fighting to see who will be leaving the grand champion of this day. But before we get started, let's take a look at what we've got planned for you with this little planning. So as you can see, we've got the first semi-final coming up, which is going to be 2 mixed European teams, Bai versus Creme Fraiche. Later on, we've got the Rising Moon, the French team, going up against Extermination, a German team, for the second semi-final. And of course, no day is complete with some surprises, and that's what we've got for you coming after that, with a really cool show match on Splatoon 2 and the Nintendo Switch. Coming up later with Oviedo Hokusai and Cooldown, 2 teams who have come specially for that. So, before we get started, let's take a quick look at the people at the caster desk. We have got 2 amazing people here, ready and waiting, Rene and Bowie. How are you guys doing?
Hey, thanks, James, and welcome to the Caster Desk. Of course, we're hyped for that Splatoon Grand Final. We got amazing teams, inktastic players all over the place. I had to do that. I'm sorry.
Start off strong.
So, what could go wrong?
Well, what can go wrong? Well, I mean, it's one of those games that any tiny mistake can be really capitalized on. So it's you're wanting to make sure you're on your tightest gameplay. So I mean, even the smallest thing, maybe misusing a special or just kind of not communicating as strongly as you could be very, very dangerous in this game.
But it's time for more action. I hope that you, James, will bring us the first match.
Of course, guys, thanks a lot, and we'll be back with you when the game starts, and hopefully you will be bringing us into the heart of the action and showing us everything that needs to be seen throughout the day. We'll be playing best of 5s for the first 2 semi-finals, and then the final will be a best of 7 games. So, without further ado, let's grab this first match, get it starting, get it rolling with our very first team. Let's welcome Creme Fraiche! So, I'm here with Brian. Brian, you're the captain while your team comes in as well. Yes, here they are, very shy. Come on, guys, come over here. I'm going to keep Brian with me, but guys, stay here just for a minute. So, Brian, how are you feeling? Is this your first time in Paris?
Yeah, well, I've been in Paris when I was a few years old, but I almost forgot everything because I was so young.
What's it like to be playing this game in front of so many people and knowing that thousands are watching us live right now?
It's really fun. I really enjoy playing this game so much, and doing this for so many people is really, something to look forward to it.
Great. Well, last question. Do you have a strategy? You're opening up this game, this day of activities here today, against the team BAI. Do you have a strategy against them?
Yeah, we definitely have discussed a lot of stuff we're going to do and how we're going to position ourselves, and we make sure we counter them as much as we can.
Great. I'm going to keep you here, Brian, with us while your teammates go and get ready. Guys, if you want to go and get ready on your consoles, go ahead. Thank you, guys. And so, Brian, you're going to stay with us, and we are going to welcome together this second team who's going to be starting off the game, the day with you or against you. Let's welcome together Team BAI! So guys, you are here. I'm with the captain, Sendu. How are you feeling right now? How's your team feeling?
I have to say, we're feeling pretty good. Been practicing like yesterday, day before, and the whole week, so feeling pretty confident.
And what's it like to be flown all the way here after months of competition, of months of really hard tournaments online? What's it like to be finally here?
Well, of course, it was like a big surprise that there was going to be like a huge event like this, so we're really happy to be here and pumped to play here against Creme Fraiche.
Cool. Well, Sendu, you're going to stay with me. Your teammates can go get ready, and we are going to start this game. Guys, come forwards with me, please. There we go. So, we are really excited to get this going, and I'm sure you guys watching us are really excited as well. Gentlemen, if you're ready, shake hands. There you go, guys. Go and get ready with your teams, and we will be starting this game very shortly. Don't forget that the winning team of the day will be leaving with brand new Nintendo Switch consoles, so there is a lot to look forward to, and we are going to go straight to the caster desk. Rene, Bowie, how are you feeling about this first matchup and this first game going into today's activities?
Hey, welcome back, and you saw Brian just standing there like thinking, okay, we got this. We know that Creme Fraiche had a 3-0 against BAI in the qualifier, 18th of March. That was the qualifier. That was the last time those two played in the ESL altogether.
Yeah.
And do you think anything could happen that's new to Stretch? We talked about that a lot. We know that they got an auto, sniper, 2 flags. That's the usual setup for Splatoon. But do you think one of the teams will bring something new just to surprise them on the grand final?
Well, I think the most thing that people know about Team BAI is that Dude's quite an all-rounder, so it kind of depends on how he's going to be pushing into this next one, into this game, basically. In Team BAI, they have got Sorin and Sendo, who are very, very strong players. Sorin, that's a very, very strong auto. So I think if they can synergize well enough and really push in, they might be able to take this from Creme Fraiche. The thing about Creme Fraiche is they do have Lean, who is obviously well known as perhaps one of the best charger and more Squiffer players in Europe, arguably potentially the world. We'll see. But I get the feeling with this particular comp, he may not be playing that and actually switching to a different role. Potentially, maybe a blaster. I believe he was musing with his team earlier. So you know, I think that Bai have got this. I know that 3 members of Team Bai play a lot more, and then one of them kind of plays a little bit less. I know that Nike's kind of been pulled into Team Bai because obviously Team Bai is made up from players from Chimera, and then also joining them is Nike to kind of like fill out that roster. So to see how well that they can synergize with Nike, and then, you know, with their normal team play, how that can work with them as they push forward to this game, how he might twist the matchup. That's kind of where the interesting point of this game will lie.
I mean, we know the first match will be Splat Zone, so it just depends which maps they're banning right now. And we talked about that already. Leon might not be used to Swiffer. We heard about that. We talked to the teams. They said he might go for something like Luna Blaster, something which gives them a bit more opportunity to ink some turf, which would be very important for Splat Zone. It's just, if he changes his role right now and they only rely on Brian being the sniper and Brian trying to back them up, make sure that there's no one around them, no one flanking them, we know that, like going for key point presence or trying to flank the objective. Do you think they could switch back between the maps?
Yeah, I mean, again, when we change map, we also change the mode as well. But I think, you know, different teams have different competencies in particular game modes as well. But I think what's interesting about Lean as well changing is that I think that Luna Blast is a very disruptive weapon. So we are getting, I believe, underway into our very, very first game straight away.
Yeah, Bai on orange here. That's the site you see right now with Sendu.
There's the music as well.
Bringing the Splatling here. Look at this.
Yeah, so the
That's
thing
a
about
cool start.
What's really good about the Splatling is that obviously it covers so much turf. So obviously being able to use that, cover as much ground as they can, you know, and just get that immediate control and try and keep it afterwards. Very, very nice splat there.
I mean, Cream Fresh used the first bubble already because they had so much ink laying down already. That split. Their specials ready. We see the Inkzuka there trying to get the upper hand. No chance at all next to that suction ball. Look at if the splash wall. Do you think that could be one of those things to always go for on all maps right now?
I mean, on a map like this, yes, it's a very like linear map. It's kind of very, very long and slender. So being able to use the splash wall to kind of like get those control of those choke points, guard your back, your rear, just like that, allows you to kind of a bit more time to focus and control the space.
70 points already for Bai right now, so 70 seconds to go. Seems like they got the objective under control, but it's now contest stopped by Creme Freshie Brian with great work with his charger once again, looking around. Of course he can, it's a right-handed corner, so he can just sneak into that, trying to not show too much of his inkling there. Going over to Squid, moving around to the inside. Sendu Bai still with the Splatling, trying to cover ground, get back the objective in the middle. It's Hammer Bridge, just that one objective, nothing else for it. And it seems like both teams are kind of fighting on the upper level, not even looking to cover too much ground there.
Sendo doing a very, very good job of trying to push back the team, but great work there from Kaiva to fight back. We saw Brian earlier as well doing something called right side peeking. You're just coming around the right side of those walls to get those shots. Very strong for Charger players. And you saw Kaiva there take control and just push into the center and completely take away all the momentum that Bai had pushing back into this game.
Kaiva now under a bit of pressure, but they took over the objective for Cream Fresh. Well, Bai tries to push back now. Sendu, of course he has to stay in the back. He always needs to charge his Splatling. It's not so easy to just be front row with it. But all that in coverage. Look at this, going on the outside. Bubba ready now for him. Trying to look for an ambush here.
That was very nice. That was very smart sharking there. Just waiting on the side of the wall, allowing himself to see as much as possible whilst recharging himself. That was reconnaissance work.
Okay, Kit now with a retreat there. 48 for Bai on the clock, 70 for Cream Fresh. They're now looking to push onto the objective once again, but Soren just hiding, ambushing the opponent team right now. Not a lot of splats seen so far. While I just jinxed it, Soren getting splatted there with a rapid blaster, making that possible. Counter stop once again, just 18 on the clock. For Bai. Will Cream Fresh have another shot at the objective now?
Yeah.
So with Lean trying to push on in, but look at Lean bringing the Splatling.
Yeah,
no Luna Blast.
I was about to say that, but regarding the Splatling, it does have that long range though, so it still plays to his point of being a little bit further back and able to kind of get that long range objective play. He's able to kind of see that and use that to his advantage.
I can locate both behind that splash wall. Great movement here by Nike. He's probably more or less like the sniper of the team, but still saying up front there on the objective. Still 18 on the clock for Bai, 74 Cream Fresh. He got the Kraken ready. I mean, he could go onto that close quarter combat if he wants to, but they still tried to just slide back.
There was a lot of them of Creme Fraiche who just built up in that corner, which really allowed Bai. I mean, you saw the Lunar Blaster putting in work. Lots of, splash damage coming out, quite literally splash damage. And then, really allowing them to take over coverage of that center area.
Look at the map. Bai got full map control, more or less. It's just the first meters, or even inches, for Cream Fresh, where they can freely move their squids, what they can't do in the center of the objective, which is really, really bad for them right now, because it looks like they will do another 40 seconds on the clock while Cream Fresh still tries to push it, but we also see them a lot of times being down by 2 already. Bai is 4 players on it, 3 players on it, and Cream Fresh all the way back to 2 and 1, and that's it. Map number 1
that was
for
really,
Bai.
That was really, really good towards the end. As those numbers were coming down, you could see, especially Dude was using the splash ball very, very well. He was, sharking, but very, very, very down low, not on the wall or anything, but just being able to see as much of the space as he could. And then, whenever he was ready, throwing out the splash ball, controlling those choke points, and then just completely pushing back the opposing team. That was really, really good work defensively, just to kind of, we have the point. We don't have to go anywhere at this point, because the clock was ticking down, the numbers were getting more and more in favor of Bai. Therefore, they don't have to do anything. It's entirely up to Creme Fraiche to push. They have to be the aggressors in that point, which is a very hard thing to do when your opponent has so much control.
I just loved how they used the splash ball to not be on the objective as soon as they had it. Like Bai was in control of the objective, just waiting on the back, seeing like, okay, which side is Creme Fraiche pushing right now? Where they're trying to get onto the objective. They tried to only cover ground on the objective in case they had to retake it.
Yeah.
They never went for it, just ambushing in the middle. Like, we both not playing in S+, so we stay on the objective just to make sure that we're there in case something happens.
Yeah.
But they just retreat every time they got the objective, being in control and not letting this end in a chaotic match for them right on the objective.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's obviously, as you say, it's one of those, that high level thing is being a lot more aware of not only the space you need to control, but the space that you are controlling at that point. And if you've taken the point, you don't have to be on it to defend it. You can space back, you can space forward, you can space around that, because it is your control. And we saw that both defensively and offensively.
I mean, map control, map awareness. Of course, they have been in control of the map all the time. We all know that. As soon as you don't have enough ink laying down, it's so hard to move around, even to flank, because you take up too much time to get there and all that. While we see them trying to change a bit of their gadgets here. In this mode, they only have one main per gear, so there's nothing like 3 gear, whatever. It doesn't work for them, so they have to choose wisely for this one. And I guess most of them will go for stealth jump, like to not reveal their position when they super jump onto the objective.
It depends on kind of what particular effect you want to bring with your squad. There are times when you really need to have that increased strength. Maybe if you're kind of going for the auto, the burst rush down kind of style to get onto an objective, specifically maybe in Rainmaker, where you want to get there first and then completely go for that oppressive play and push the opponent down. Something like that might be a bit better if you want to be a bit more passive in your approach. Potentially that the defensive options might be a bit better. But yeah, I mean, stealth jump's very, very good for again trying to, especially when you're trying to flank as well.
So we got splat zones in the box. So next up is tower control here. High grounds once again. Of course, we got a lot of different options now for Bai to secure this. They got 2 players that are very, very good on charges. I mean, even Duke can play charges easily on this level.
We
see the first splat already.
Yeah, so that was a nice 1-for-1 there. The thing about Moray Towers, as we know, very, very high ground. So, charges are really strong here. So, I mean, obviously, you see Lean using the Lunar Blaster as well. As we mentioned earlier, that was a lovely shot there from the custom E-Elite. Just that long range, that height advantage is just going to come into so much strong play right now.
Just waiting there, that Soren trying to get back, getting the beacon there, and the splat. That was a good move. 2 for 1. Easily going down, but where's the tower right now? We got the tower pushing for Bai, so they are in control of the tower once again. And I said already, Cream Fresh won this 3-0 last time. Do you think that's something like they put pressure on them right now since they're leading the first map?
Well, I mean, the thing is, at play of this level, everyone, I mean, especially these teams. These
Oh,
four
dude
teams,
got splatted there. No chance when he spotted him, even with sweat form, but came through with the splat here for Bai.
Yeah.
Kyber now on the way once again. It seems like they're pushing back the tower. 56.
That
was the best so far for Bai.
That was quite unfortunate for Kyber because he had this opportunity. He had the jump on his opponent, but he could not finish the job quick enough, and actually it ended up in a 1-for-1 rather than a 1-0 in his favor. A 1 splat for him, and then he couldn't then push further. That was a bit of a misplay from him.
Sorin here, the auto, trying to gain ground for the tower. Well, Kyber now coming from the back, suction bomb onto the tower, trying to get the splat down there. Can he do it? Yes, he can. That were 2 splats, actually. No, he didn't got the one on the tower, but got it now. Control for Cream Fresh on that tower. Great play by Kyber. That was a cool move there. He mostly will play the Octashot intent attack here, but he's one of those flex players that could easily go for something else if needed.
Yeah. And that was a very important steal back as well from Creme Fraiche, because it was getting to that point where it's getting higher and higher up, more Moray Tower, so it's getting even harder to defend it. That was a very key point to grab it back.
Brian once again trying to look around the corner right side here. We all know that since all the Inklings are right-handed, it's easier to do this. Like, you don't even show your Inkling at all, but you can get the shot done. Sorin still underway here. 41 for Bai so far. 95 Creme Fraiche back once again. Seems like that's not their map while Sorin gets splatted with a custom range blaster here. Brian got the problem here. He can't really go to the tower. He's doing it right now because he has to. He has to get it.
Yeah.
But it's not the right weapon to do it.
Very smart to use the central point of the tower as well as his defense. He was very, very patient in going up because he knew that there was so much pressure around. Having to immediately aggress, and then you can see Sendo getting double splats there. Really, really commanding stuff from him.
They're coming back with a double here to regain tower control for Bai once again. Sendo doing a great job so far there. He's the team captain of Bai. Wow.
Play from Sendo there.
And a third one in a row. Akalake onto him with some ink laying down. He didn't even look. You saw that? There was ink and he was like, no, I got everything under control, but now he got splatted. It's over for him, but map shows that once again it's Bai being in control, but it seems like they can't get ink down in front of the tower right now. Once again, he needs to get back off a bit due to that suction bomb.
And what I've noticed about Creme Fraiche as well, the way they play, is that they're very, there's a very nice subtle sense of awareness. You can see them covering spaces that may not seem like it's necessary, but it enhances their variety of options of movement. I'm not saying that Bai doesn't do this, but it's very specific. Ahead of time
here
choices.
trading. Sorry to interrupt you, it was just so fast what they're doing. And Noah got the beacon down right on the tower. Of course, that makes sense. You want your teammates to jump on it to push the objective even further because Creme Fraiche is still trailing here, but the Kraken coming out for Creme Fraiche.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for the Bai player who was just making his way towards the tower, thinking that, I'll go and protect the tower. Instant Kraken to the face. Quite the surprise, but
it's still Brian with the charger on the tower. That's really something I didn't expect him to do, but it seems like it's necessary for Creme Fraiche to regain control. But 43 now for them, while Bai retake the tower, and 41 for them. Still 25 seconds on the clock. It seems like Creme Fraiche won't get the second map as well. Dude trying to push in there. He's the one that could probably play any weapon today. Any weapon. He's at least decent, if you could say that on that level, on nearly every weapon. We all know his videos. Splash Wall coming up for him to secure his position, but look at that.
Wow.
He was just ambushing him. He was waiting for that one move to happen.
Again, that was a really, really important time to grab back the tower as well. That was, again, the Kraken straight on top, gets the KOs, and takes that game. That is, I believe, a current 2-0.
Yeah, but do you saw that Kraken for the end? I mean, ending the map with such a move, that gives you, the momentum. You just jumped on there, got another splat, it's done, all fine, Bai in control of the map. But what they didn't expect, at least that's what I think, is you saw them being in the lead all the time. Yeah. They had it under control. They had more map control in the middle of the match. Then Creme Fraiche came back, regained control of the map, pushed the tower, but they never expected them to go that far. It was so close for Creme Fraiche to get that. And then was actually Senu coming back with splats to make sure that Bai is not losing his lead here.
Yeah. I mean, especially towards the end as well, you were saying that, about that control. We saw a lot of these kind of nice, for lack of a better phrasing, these like shotgun moments of kind of like ferocity between the two players. And we saw the strength of Kraken as well, as we were saying towards the end. Like, you know, the tower is a very, very small area, so you can get onto that and just completely dominate it. And there's nothing the opponent can really do.
You can't only push the Kraken back. There's no way to split it. But we're now going over to Rainmaker. So Kraken, yes, is the best for close combat. We all know that if you got that done, or at least a bubble on your team, then you're in a good position. But Rainmaker changes a lot. Do you think there are specific players on both teams that are likely to pick up the Rainmaker, or is it just whoever is the closest to the Rainmaker will do it?
Well, again, I mean, there's times when you want to just go for it, and there are times when you want to hold, wait, and then bring forward your entire team before pressing onwards. On the side of Creme Fraiche, I mean, again, if you're going to be putting Lean into his Squiffer position and he's going to be going with that and the more long range, I would expect him to not pick up the Rainmaker. But if he's going for something a bit more disruptive, he might then use it, because then he can just, you know, create chaos wherever he can, whilst allowing his teammates to support him during that.
You know, in the Rainmaker, the problem is you always need to decide which weapon you want to lose.
Exactly.
Like, do you lose the support from the .52 Gal, maybe? Do you lose your auto with a Tent Attack or the Octoblaster, not having that much ink laid down in front of you? But with the Squiffer, I can see them maybe exchange it even for the Rainmaker. It's a similar way.
It does have long range.
Yeah,
as well,
the Rainmaker is a bit like the Inkzooker, so it gives you the same advantage that the Inkzooker has without really having the need to have your special ready.
Yep.
But the shield is still the thing that the one thing in this Rainmaker match we'll see next that might change everything. We know they could be too close to the shield. It explodes, splats everyone. And then we all know Rainmaker matches can be like 20 seconds. You got the first push, you split the whole opponent team, you just push right through to the end. Do you think that could happen in such a competitive environment here?
It's more than likely to. It's happened before. It can no doubt happen again. I mean, it just takes one very, very good play. I mean, you can argue that with the threat of this happening, players might, you know, opt to, you know, not go all in and maybe sometimes play that more passive defensive game, and then we're going for the counter push. But, you know, it does just take, you know, one or two very clean plays, very coordinated plays, and as you say, Rainmaker is over in a matter of seconds sometimes. It's a very volatile mode in that regard, that it's just anything can happen, really. And I know that's kind of wishy-washy to say, but there is some level of truth to that, I guess.
And we will go to Piranha Pit for that Rainmaker match we were just talking about. But yeah, of course, you can only move the objective if you're in control of the map and if you got splatted at least two of them, if you really want to move on a secure way. Otherwise, you back off with the Rainmaker. Make sure that you keep the possession and not losing it. So Rainmaker is always the position being back behind or to being back behind the Gal player, for example. But we have seen some sneaky plays already. Players going like for the risky way, like, oh, they're still 4v4, but I can make that happen because no one is seeing me right now. No one is having me under control. No pressure from a charger, for example, no Squiffer. Because those are the ones that need to coordinate their teams for Rainmaker, making sure that you got everything covered. But here we go, Piranha Pit.
We're seeing an ink brush come out as well, which, you know, again, it's got really, really quick, sharp, the let's say the auto. Just
Brian able to first shot on the objective. Creme Fraiche trying to get the two, but no, Bai destroyed the shield here, but no one picked it up so far. Brian still peeking left and right
so here
to get the first split for him.
Here is that more kind of like passive style. No one's going in for it just yet. They're wanting to make sure that they get control of the space and over their opponents before they go in. The bubbler from Team Bai, though, again, very nice, allowing you to push up as soon as that is activated.
But no one picked it up yet. Still Nike being in the back. Lean being in the back for Creme Fraiche with the Splatling once again trying to cover as much ground as possible to make sure as soon as they grab the Rainmaker they can move forward, can go wherever they want. But not many splats coming in, but now Lean getting splat, but that's a trade. There was a good one there. Nothing happened. 3v3.
It was very important to get that trade quickly as well because there was this hole in the enemy team they needed to patch up. So
no one wants to lose control while we see the ink brush come up. But of course, that was a range issue. With a brush, you don't really have any range at all.
Yeah.
Of course, you got those fast ambush attacks that really works great on objective, splat zones, tower. But for this, I'm actually surprised that they use it on the Rainmaker. Beacon down here, Creme Fraiche. Dude was getting rid of that one, still on the back. 84. for by the team of Dude here, one of the, I would say, famous players when it comes to visibility in the community.
Definitely one of the most well-known internationally as well. Very nice catch.
Yeah, let's go. Going down here. Good Charger players in both teams. That's something I really like, because playing Charger is so hard on the game. The aim needs to be spot on all the time, because if you miss that one shot, they might go free because they move way faster. They can move like to a closer range where you can't do much. Accolade down, bubble not up for them.
That was
Kraken now going up for Cream Fresh, trying to regain the objective. But they lost the Rainmaker, still sitting right in the middle more or less, inside of Bai here. Only taking it, 84 for them, 74 for Cream Fresh. So Cream Fresh currently in the lead, the European mixed team, but Bai is also a European mixed team. And not a French team, because you might think that with Cream Fresh in the name, but it's not. Nike bringing down his special here to help his teammates, supporting them from the back. But he can't really get into a position right now where he's got like an impact on the game, while Lean makes sure that they can pick up the Rainmaker, but he's avoiding it, so not picking it up while he's having Splatnik. Of course, his inking is like the way he can create waves for the team are very important. So he tries not to pick up the Rainmaker.
Yeah,
Wow,
I mean, trading of disruptors there, but it went definitely in Bai's favor. Very, very nice splat from Lean as he tries to make his way towards to cover the Rainmaker. Then, yeah, exactly. Pushing onto the shield, making sure that none of the opposing team can come in. This is a big explosion. Move back. Forcing them back. Very, very nice stuff from Lean.
And still Bai being in the lead by a small margin right now. Map control seems to be still not decided yet. I mean, it's all around the center of the map, with the Rainmaker being on the side of Cream Fresh. And now picked up by Sendu on his way, but that was Disruptor, and then the Kraken to finish him off. No chance for him to do anything so far. Brian trying to hide from the shield, but got splatted right after by the Charger player here. That should have been, it wasn't Elite, it was Brian actually doing that. He is the sniper player for Cream Fresh. Of course, the favorite more or less with 3-0 in the qualifiers, but now they're down by 2. Soren trying to get back onto that. Ooh, all those disruptors being pulled out there. Suction bomb for Bai once again, trying to push forward, trying to get onto the Rainmaker, closing the gap there. Then they get the splat done. Did he just drop off the map? No. No, he didn't. Oh, I just saw it. I was like, wait, it's not really doing it, right? But that can happen. We all know that. Suction bomb once again to push forward. Lean trying to back off a bit, making sure that they're still in control of what happens on their side now. They need to get down that shield to pick up the Rainmaker. That's very important, getting it done right now. Lean trying to move on in, but he doesn't really want to with his flat thing once again. But he now did. Oh, I jinxed it. I'm sorry.
No, I like the fact that they did push forward, then immediately bubbled and did not take it, and to try to again hold it down, wait for their reinforcements to arrive before grabbing the Rainmaker. But when they did push forward, Bai were then ready to counterattack.
It seems like Bai always has an answer to Cream Fresh pushing. As soon as they're in control of the Rainmaker, it's just Bai coming in with quick 1-2 splats and turning it around. Kraken once again available for Cream Fresh here, trying to get the shield of the Rainmaker down to the Kraken. Of course, that's a good way. Splatted by Dude here. Ending map number 3. That's a 3-0
I do believe, as Judd decides, he does rule in favor of Team Bai. So they go through on a 3-0 victory over Creme Fraiche, who did beat them 3-0 in the qualifiers, which, you know, is a big turnaround for them. And again, just shows the fact that, you know, a lot of these players have played each other before. They know how each other plays and how to counter each other. And it's just who shows up better on the day. In qualifying, it was Creme Fraiche. Today it was Bai.
I mean, it's a bit sad since Cream Fresh will be out of the tournament right now with that 3-0 against Bai. But what I really like is that's not the favorite winning. I mean, so often you got matchups where you're like, okay, we all know what will happen. Of course, Bai, due to Dude being a very all-around player and all that, might be the favorite for some. But on the stats, was actually Cream Fresh.
Yeah.
But like totally dominating the qualifier there against Bai. But now they did it, and that was the first semi-final being done and dusted right now, so we can head back to James on the stage and see what the players are doing.
Thanks, Rene. Indeed, I'm here with the captain, Sendu. Sendu, you must be very happy. 3-0. What a way to start the day. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. Like, Green Fresh is a really good team that won 3-0 against us in the qualifiers. So we got a bit of a revenge now, so it feels really nice, yeah.
So you are the first team to qualify for the finals later on. How are you feeling about this? You're that closer to being the grand champions of this tournament. Is that something you're excited for, something that you're looking forward to, or is it maybe something that's going to be hard to get? What's it feel like to you?
Well, even like it's just Extermination, is it Rising Moon? They're both good teams, so it's not gonna be easy. But I really like that we are able to play one more game on this stage, so I'm really happy about that.
Now, last quick question before you go back to your players. Who of the next two teams would you like to face if you could choose?
Extermination.
Any reason why?
Well, Rising Moon, it's a pretty good team, I think, and they have like all of their like best players here. Extermination, I'm so sad that couldn't see Kagutso here. Would have liked to play it against him, but maybe some other time. But I think Rising Moon is the team to watch out for here.
Fair enough. Well, bye, Sendu. I'll let you get back to your teammates. That is 3-0. Go ahead. Well done to you guys. Now we are going to go into the second semi-final. And this time it's going to be a French team versus a German team here. Starting off with the German team. To my left, it's Extermination. So who's the captain of the team? You're the captain. Perfect. So you just saw them win 3-0. Savage, tell me what your thoughts are after that game. Are you excited to get going with your teammates?
Exactly. I'm excited to play against Spy. I'm looking forward for it.
Great. Any strategies you might have thought of going into this game?
And we're gonna play with teamwork, and we can so win.
Is your team ready for this? Are you guys excited to be here in Paris today?
Of course.
Okay, well, a man of few words, Savage, you're going to stay with me. Don't move. I'll let your teammates get ready. Thank you, guys. And we are going to meet this second team. So it is going to be the French team, Rising Moon. Come on, guys. Yep. A bit shy for a lot of these players. I'm guessing for you guys, it's the first time you've been live in front of people like this for these games. What does it feel like to be here?
It's a lot of pressure, but it's really exciting.
So you are the only French team to make it. What's it like to be here in France, playing for your team, for your country even?
I don't know if we represent France, but we're very happy to be here.
You are maybe just a few games away from the finals and leaving with the Nintendo Switch, as the winners will get to do. What would that be like for you guys to get that far and to win today?
We would be very happy, of course. We have two players in the team who already have the Switch, and two who don't have it. So it would be a nice present.
Okay, well, you guys can go and get ready. I'm going to keep the captain here. Binks, Savage, come on, let's move forwards. You guys can get ready, and we'll see you soon. So, guys, again, this is the second semi-final, best of 5. May the best team win. Shake hands. There we go, guys. Go get ready with your teammates, and we will get going very soon. Once again, this is a best of 5. This is the second semi-final of the day. It is indeed Rising Moon to my right versus Extermination to my left. Will it be an extermination, or will we see the sun rise again later? That is for Rene and Bowie to bring us into the action. Bowie, sorry. Up to you guys.
I just love those player interviews because Savage was so close to saying, like, when he asked for strats, like, we play Splatoon?
Yeah.
Probably. And then we saw the first ambush of Rising Moon. They were all waiting in the back, like they do in the game. Yeah. It's like, no, we're not coming out. Yeah. Just waiting for a chance.
And they will appear, yeah, exactly.
But lovely players. We met them before at the hotel. We talked to them today at the venue here in Paris for the grand final. And they're just so lovely. I could keep all of them. It's not sad that some teams need to leave the tournament that early, like Cream Fresh in the first semi-final, and now will be either Rising Moon or Extermination. And we know that Rising Moon lost the qualifier 3-2. So was Extermination not really dominating it? Not like Bayer versus Cream Fresh, but there's a very, very close matchup. Do we see that today again?
Well, I'm certainly going to hope for the closest of matches between these two. I mean, we do need to, first of all, make note that Extermination have got a bit of an interesting roster because they haven't got Kargu, who is arguably their star player. He's very, very strong, very, very disruptive, but they haven't got him. So, they do have, the likes of Savage still, who's, is going to perhaps, be commanding that team and leading his teammates into battle here. So I think it's going to be how well he can, keep everything working together as a team. And for Rising Moon, I think it was quite nice actually during that interview where he was saying that there's a lot of pressure. Because this is the first time they've actually been at a live event. I know that Creme Fraiche, for example, have been at live events before, but this is new for them. So they do play a lot, but this is their first time to actually do something like this, and it being able to see these players face to face and have it in such a grand stage. With the stakes that they are, how is that going to affect their play? Are they going to, meet that pressure head on and charge on through, or will it affect their play a little bit? That's the kind of questions you have to ask for a team that's newer to live events like this.
Playing on a stage is totally different to play just at home in front of your console, on your own couch, or whatever. It's your environment. You're in control of everything. But right now, they're sitting in front of a live audience here, cameras everywhere, people moving around, people sometimes screaming at each other. We all know that happened, especially on the Extermination. We talked to them and said Savage and Echo, they always scream at each other in German, even if they won. So it seems like they're never happy.
Yeah. I think actually something that's really interesting about the Extermination team as well is because they do have obviously Kirito and Hero are the other two players. Hero is on loan from Creme Fraiche as well, so he doesn't actually have to worry about playing against his own teammates. So he can now go all out, can't he? he can style all he wants now.
He picked the right team then.
Yeah, Extermination have got they've got a lot of. I want to say history, because have how many players they have there as well. So I'm losing my train of thought now. But yes, sorry, brilliant. Thank you very much. Rising Moon. I think they're they're kind of like the interesting team that we want to look out for because they could be that unknown powerhouse. The hidden boss, as it were.
But when it comes down to Echo versus Andy, both will play Sniper on their teams, but probably on the Elite, of course, like the usual weapon to go for.
Yeah.
Who's stronger? Echo or Andy?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Community is looking like, what does he say right now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know as much about Andy personally, but from what I've heard from his team, they have a lot of confidence in him and know that he can he can probably do it. So I mean, again, as I say, I don't know too much about him personally myself. That's just how it goes. But the team are confident in him, and sometimes it's just a case of that team having that joint confidence to push forward.
Yeah, we see Rising Moon on the screen so far. Before that, we had a Savage and Echo quickly talking in front of the match here. First map, of course, will be Splat Zone once again.
Yes,
it's
indeed.
the same Splat Zone Tower, then Rainmaker, back to Splat Zone Tower in case needed. This is BO5. Final will be BO7, so best of 7, a longer match. The show match actually will be BO5 as well.
And you can see just there as well the prize that everyone's playing for, the Nintendo Switch in all its glory. But yeah, I mean, I'm also looking forward to seeing Sibo play a little bit as well. Quite a renowned player from France as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play today and see if he can rise to the occasion.
I mean, we heard already he might choose the Neo Blaster, and we know that this weapon had a big impact on the first match we saw today. So it could happen that he's the key player for them once again in this matchup. But I'm still sure it will go down to Charger.
Pun?
It will go down to Chargers.
You reckon so?
Yeah. I mean, I got a feeling in me that this could be down to more like supporting the roles at the front, like Auto and maybe someone with a Gal, maybe someone with a Tentashock Blaster, whatever. Being in the front row, trying to get the objective. But if you've got a good charger on your back, controlling the map, controlling the objective, there's no way for them to get on the objective.
Yes.
Or they have long-range weapons themselves, like a Splatling on the map, bringing another charger and all that. But we all know that charger's not really the best weapon to cover much ground. Yeah,
it's very, very linear. It's more a damage powerhouse than it does obviously do coverage. It's very, very nice for kind of you get your first shot, you immediately swim forward, you get another shot, and you can really, really quickly speed in. So yeah.
Wonder what the first map will be for the second semi-final today. We already lost Cream Fresh because Bai got that 3-0 in the books already, but now it's Extermination versus Rising Moon. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the map. So I was looking down to the screen, tried to pick up the map, but no chance. It's Hammerhead Bridge.
Hammerhead Bridge again, yeah. So we saw this one the first time as well in the first game. And again, you can see a couple of the splatlings coming out, these E-liters as well.
A Slosher, we talked about that before the tournament.
So yeah, the Slosher again is not much range, but so much power. So we'll see it come out. This one's a little bit more, linear as well. So we'll see. It's about covering ground and then doing as much burst damage as you can. So we'll see how Vix does this.
During makeup time, we talked to Brian about a potential Slosher coming into the game today. And now it's really happening here on the side of Rising Moon. They got the Ink Strike ready, trying to get down on the objective, I guess. No, right in front of the objective, trying to push back Extermination here, the German team on their way back once again, but they now got the Kraken ready on Echo. Echo now moving in onto the objective, trying to take over from Rising Moon here because they're down to 77 already, but wasn't really successful. Pushed into the corner there. No chance for him to move around at all. Now back onto the objective, trying to cover ground, but it seems like he's just trying to prepare the map for the rest of it.
That was a really, really nice kind of like singular play there from Echo, using the Lunar Blaster to find his way in and then completely shut down that entire zone. And as you said, just preparing the map as best he could for his teammates who are coming in.
Yeah, there's support here by Andy, that's Andy, this lead, bringing the Echo Locator to make sure that his teammates know where to go, where to hunt for them. But it seems like Rising Moon is in the better position so far on the map, but 77 against 58 so far.
You could see that shot just coming in, trying to find what he could, using that right side peeking. See Hero.
He got Bubbler ready now. That could be the game changer for them to get back onto the objective, because it's now Rising Moon pushing down to 50. There's the Bubbler onto the objective. Suction Bomb being thrown. But he doesn't really want to push on it. He just gave it to his teammates and then staying back with the Splatling. Trying to cover ground, going for the Splat on the left. Kraken went up for Extermination as well.
Not necessarily, as you say, pushing in, but just kind of being a presence and just kind of holding down, one specific spot, locking, options out from his opponent.
It's enough to fear the opponent sometimes. Exactly. You don't need to splat them. You just need to make sure that they don't want to move around that one specific corner. While we see Echo being splatted by the Charger there from the back. Rising Moon now on their way to cover the objective. They did. 50-42. That's a very, very tight matchup we see, but the qualifier was just the same. Ezra not really sure if to go up or down, hiding onto that wall there. Very nice movement. Will he go for the splat or just waiting? Now he has to. Faces off here.
Wonderful, wonderful accuracy from Urza. Really, really nice stuff from him. That's what we like to see. I mean, we're noticing the Killer Whale again. That obviously very, very solid choice for a narrow map such as this.
Seems like the Kraken now down once again for Extermination. That's Echo from Extermination here. Normally playing the Charger.
You could see that it was just enough just to bring the Kraken nearby as well. He didn't have to finish off that aggression. Didn't need to take the splat. He pushed his opponent back and then retreated himself. It was enough to move the opponent away from the objective.
Yeah, having a Kraken on the map, of course, gives you some map control, and most opponents will back off. That's the good part about it. Even if you don't get splats down, you at least regain control. But Rising Moon now down to 31. A small lead in front of Extermination here. Extermination in blue, Rising Moon still on orange. Echo Locator being thrown. No Killer Whale for Ezra so far. So he just used it, so there's no way for him to use it in the last seconds, I guess. 25 now. Extermination really needs to push the objective to get onto it. Having a chance to win map number 1. Splash wall coming down. Kirito got splatted. This is Ezra once again from the back here.
Oh, okay. It got splattered in the end, but managed to take that last shot, and their team wins the game.
Yeah, that's map number 1 for Rising Moon. So not the Rising Sun here James was referring to, but we see the moon rising, at least on map number 1 against Extermination. The German team not really getting map control. It seems like they used the Kraken in a good way, pushing in, not really, like, if you push too far with the Kraken, you find yourself in a very bad spot. You could be surrounded by other Inklings, surrounded by Squids, no chance for you to get back to your team, but they just used it to push back Rising Moon, but not really getting the objective.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a case of, as you say, if you go too far, you can find your way. He was aware of just how much pressure he had, and when it was the smart time to relieve that pressure. For not only because his job was done, the pressure was put on, the enemy retreated. You have to retreat as well to keep yourself, safe, so you don't immediately dissolve the pressure you had immediately built up. It's about building upon the pressure. Don't push it too hard. Build little bits of pieces here and there, here and there, here and there. And you could see that with Ezra's movement as well. Urza's movement. Sorry, he was very, very. His movement was very like staccato. He'd move in a direction. It was always decided and had purpose. He'd go in one spot, control it. One spot, control it. It was he was always kind of. Obviously the spot that he wanted to be, but what I mean is, he was always, locking down one space, deciding what he was going to do there, finishing, and then, making these decided movements. And it's that kind of confidence and that kind of, purpose that kind of really, what's the word I'm looking for? It supplements, your team play. When you have someone who is so special or so specific, rather, in their movement and what area they're taking control of. You don't have to be as, you don't have to communicate as much when you know that one person's doing what they're doing, and you can just trust that to happen. And then you can focus on the other things, like pushing back your opponents rather than having to take space.
But, I mean, this needs to be down to communication at the end at all, because he can only retake any positions if he knows that his team is just supporting and making sure there's nothing around him, because as soon as you get for a specific spot, trying to make that move, everyone will know. They will see you on the map anyway, that will just move in. Now, map number 2, that will be tower control here. Piranha Pit once again, isn't it?
Yep.
Piranha Pit? Yeah, it is.
Tower control on Piranha Pit is a interesting one.
Yeah, we had Rainmaker before in our first
we had
semi-final.
Rainmaker and we had Moray Towers for tower control last time. And this is a very interesting one.
Or early tower control here.
What's really interesting about this is more specific for Moray Towers, but it kind of makes sense for this, is that Moray Towers is very, very it's thin, linear, it's very angular, whereas this is a lot more open, where you can support a lot more, and the way in which you engage upon the objective, it changes a lot when it comes to
more flanking opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got a lot more space to work with.
There's
a lot more ambiguity.
Rising Moon on the way to lead early on 95 so far for Extermination, but I can't really see the number of Extermination there.
90-something to 97.
Really?
Yeah, I just thought, Okay, it's 95, there we go. But as we see, Rising Moon just starting to get that lead and is going to keep pushing that one. You can see as well the Slosher, just covering that space, pushing the opponents back. Although there is a charger to the left of that. Our Rising Moon player on the tower is just being very, very careful to control that one.
He's just helping onto the tower in case needed, like now with the Kraken, to make sure that they stay in control, in possession of the tower. And other than that, he will just move around, flank the objective, making sure that in case someone goes directly for the objective, he is there to cover that up. But Bink's the only player, just for it was the only player that said there might be a Slosher, while no one told us that they might go for a Splat. It's not nice. Savage here. The Germans try to regain control of the map. They're by far now. Look at this, 36 already for Rising Moon on map number 2, Piranha Pit. Tower control now, Savage with the Splat.
That was really, really good stuff from Savage that entire time. He was being aggressed upon, and he was, just standing in enemy ink, but he kept his cool, and he just kept retreating into, to have his teammates to, come around his side and protect him. And then they immediately had this wonderful counterattack.
It is Extermination. I just lost my words there. Extermination on the move with the tower here to push back. 36 still for Rising Moon. Extermination now going down to 50 maybe if they take control of it. Yeah, the Kraken. You can't do much about the Kraken, but Kraken just expired at that moment when Ezra was jumping on the tower.
That was just really good knowledge of that special. Knowing he noticed it when it had popped, kept that mental timer going, and knew exactly when he could get that counter push again.
Savage now with the Splat once again, but getting split by the Lunar Blaster there. No chance for him. Control of the tower once again up for Extermination. but it's still Rising Moon being in the lead.
And that Squid Beacon just coming down to get those teammates, you know, into the fray a little bit quicker. So Kraken immediately on. Oh, and there's a Kraken off! There's a Kraken off!
that won't work for Andy, because Andy activated Kraken a bit earlier than the Kraken on the examination side, so he had to back off there. No chance for him to get the tower to make sure that his team will regain control.
Yeah, really forcing him off there, you know, just making that. Oh, that was a wonderful shot. He saw that moment, just waited there, took his shot, but did go down as well. A splat for a splat between those two.
Echo didn't saw that coming, Ezra either. He was just like, oh wait, okay, splat so far. But it seems like that's very, very good. Looking now for examination down to 10. Will they finish map number 2 and get this equally? A 1-for-1 maybe. 3 to go. 1 and it's over. Extermination winning map number 2, turning this into a 1-1 so far in the second semi-final.
Have a series. We have a series.
Yes,
Renee.
starting.
So yeah, that was really, really good. I mean, you know, you could see, as I was talking about, you had this open space, and I was talking specifically about Savage and the way in which he was, you know, very, very, very like self-aware and, you know, and spatially aware of, you know, where his teammates were, and he used that when he was defending to try and maybe he found himself into a bit of an awkward situation, and then kind of had to pull back, kind of like, you know, baiting. I'm vulnerable, come get me, and then, you know, a trap is waiting, so they could get those, you know, to shut down the opponent's movement, and again, counter pushes.
I just love that moment where Andy activated Kraken, went straight onto the objective, and Examination was just like, wait, listen, you are not ready. And then just bringing down another Kraken, knowing that their Kraken will not expire before Andy's is over. So they kept in control of the tower. They had the chance for that one push, but it was actually Rising Moon leading the match most of the time.
Yes.
But that crucial push was down to Extermination and then winning map number 2.
Yeah, and you know, and this is again one of those things that wider knowledge and that wider awareness is just, you know, not only knowing what you have available, but again, are you aware of whether or not your teammate or your opponents rather have their specials up, or, you know, have they popped it? How close are they to getting it? You know, potentially that was, you know, actually rather a good decision from Andy to go in, but it was just unfortunate that you know, there was a Kraken suddenly made available, you know, in that kind of clutch situation. It happened. It was an immediate reaction that just allowed, you know, Extermination. I was going to say extinction. Extermination to push back.
They're not extincted yet, because they're still in the series 1-1 right now. But we talked about those clutch plays. And in the end, it is a game about teamwork. You need your full team to work on this, work on the objective, make sure that you can push. But sometimes it's just down to those that one play that might decide this series. Like a series like this right now with Rainmaker coming up next.
Yep. So
didn't spot the map here. Oh, I know that map. Okay,
so
that was easy.
Yeah, arrow on them all. Really, really good stage. It's got this wonderful kind of like peak in the center for those of you who don't know too much about this stage. But yeah, so the thing about Rainmaker, there's a wonderful play actually, which Sendo it was came up with this, you know, by, you know, immediately you kind of have to you have to get like 2 or 3 splats on the way up to the Rainmaker, take it and just burst down. It's like a tidal wave straight over that top.
It depends on you. You got the coverage from open and close. The boat, like the positions high up where charges are staying. Splatlings could be on that. While we see Cebu moving forward, he has 3 splats in a row and then gets finished off by that one splat bomb. I fear he didn't saw that. Didn't saw that coming. Kirito needs to push for Examination, but that's what we were talking about. Rainmaker can be over so fast. We just saw the first push of the match. For the team, and they just moved in. They just made the splats possible. They have been in control due to 2v4, 3v1, all that stuff. Made sure that they always more squids, more inklings on the map than the opponent had. That was a fast match. That's that's the stage. Just look at them. Not really been happy about that.
Yeah. Sibo had you know, he managed to kind of like get some kind of pressure onto the map, then immediately got extinguished. It was kind of very much in favor of Rising Moon, I want to say.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But the problem was I was still in like thinking about open, close, I wanted to explain those positions. Like actually, Dude did in one of his videos.
Yeah,
that's why like calling out positions, and I was like, okay, we can do that on that map because it's a great map to dive into more deeper strats of Splatoon, because it might look a bit chaotic, but it isn't.
Yeah.
There's so many different positions you need to be aware of.
Yeah.
So many plays that happen that you might not spot if you're not used to the game.
Yeah.
And then it was over already.
The thing is, it's extremely fluid. It just fluctuates consistently, and that again is another deeper level of that awareness. Just being able just to shift your position slightly, because it's sometimes just a matter of just just a little bit of overextension can be, we know this in all kinds of, competitive gaming is that,
we never overextended while we played. Never happened.
Never. No, never.
No. We got wiped out by a Rainmaker shield Thursday night, I'm pretty sure. We played against that S+ team, and it didn't went that well for us. What happens?
From personal experience, don't overextend. But yeah, I mean, it just takes, just a moment of that to change an entire game. So Black Belly Skate Park.
4 splat zones here, map number 4.
So yeah, there are 2 splat zones, I believe.
That's why it's had splat zones this time.
Indeed, yeah. So yeah, 2 splat zones, which again, this does change things. I love the fact, some maps only have one, and it's one central focus on controlling zones. But when you have these 2, you have to split the team sometimes. You have to kind of either that one side's safe and push into the second, or do you have to divide that that strength.
Kira trying to get one of the splat zones done right now, but he's still got that sprinkler on his back. Kilowell coming up, not finishing him here. Got very, very lucky on that one. While he gets the splat note, that was a trade. Got Bomb Rush ready. Another charger making that possible for Extermination. Sybil still trying to find a way through. He's all the way back from the spots right now, building his way up. That's a really nice thing about Splatoon, that you can crawl walls and all that stuff with ink. I really love that. Makes the play so much more valid to move around on the map.
It's also kind of like the unique. It's the key thing about this as well, and I think many kind of maybe newer players or players who are trying to kind of get a little bit more of a handle on this, because the basic mode is a turf war, but you don't have to worry so much about turf, in these ranked battles, in splat zones, in tower control. But it's still just as important. You cannot neglect covering ground, because the movement options are what make this so intense. So being able to close down space and find these tricky hidden ways around, because you are faster when you are in
Savage under pressure now, getting splatted by the Lunar Blast in the air. That was a really close match. That was not really what his weapon was looking for that moment. While we see Bings once again on Slosher. Was it correct? Yes, he is. And it's overall already once again going to the favor of Rising Moon here. Map number 4 in the books. Rising Moon making this a 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't actually bring the fact that this was like match point for Rising Moon, because they did have that very clean and explosive win on
Too
Rainmaker.
much stuff going on. That's it.
Yeah, it's like Rainmaker beat over 1 minute. You just kind of like wait a second. What team? You just have a moment, and when you just kind of goes ding, moment's gone.
It's way easier when you're one of the players, since you're still in the match, but you're trying to see both teams, how they move. We look at the map, seeing what they do on the map. Do they try to flank? Do they go straight through? And then you just realize, hey, there was so much happening. Rising Moon just took the splat zones, finished this very soon, because the first splat zones we saw was a very tight matchup. But now it was once again Rising Moon using all the momentum from map number 3, winning the next one.
Yeah, and I think again, to bring it back to the fact that it was a 2 splat zone map, you do have if you can control one, you can just like focus on the other. You have to kind of, if you're defending that, you have to try and find a way around that barricade and maybe try and take the secondary spot from the other opponent, from the opponent rather. But then you do also have to kind of put pressure on the first one so that they don't back up. So it's kind of how do you split your force in that regard?
Or you end up like us, getting one splat zone, then the other got taken over, then you run back. You need to split your team up. Otherwise, there's no chance to be in control of 2 splat zones. And that's the big difference when you see teams like that and when you see us playing.
Just stop bringing up the fact that we get bodied every day.
I love this game. It's just so much fun to play. And then I see those teams, and we saw them also warming up. and I saw the movement on the pad.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I did 15 hours straight some days just to prepare everything and to see all the maps, making sure that I know about stuff you can do on the map. And then I see them moving around. I was like, wow, their fingers are just way faster than mine. But that's why they're pro and on the stage. I'm just sitting here.
Hey, you are valid, my friend.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
But when we talk
of
about
valid.
sitting here, someone is not sitting at the stage but staying at the stage. That's James, and will bring us the news before heading into the next show match.
Right, exactly, Renee. We're here right now with the captain of Rising Moon, Binks. 3-1. Some explosive victories there. Those last 2 games were really, really fast. Was that part of your strategy coming into this game?
No, it really depends of the games. We can't choose that, of course. Rainmaker can easily finish very fast, and Splat Zones is the mode with the most KO possibilities. So it just happened.
Well, you gave us some amazing game there. Are you confident going into these finals that your teammates will be able to give us the same amount of show and the same kind of games in a best-of-7 final?
Honestly, I don't know. Personally, I'm never confident in myself, but we'll try our best. And they seem very strong today, and the 4 teams were very strong. So it's hard to say.
Okay, so in a few minutes, we're going to be seeing the show match on Splatoon 2. Before I let you go back to your players, have you been able to test out Splatoon 2 yet?
No, not yet.
Well, you're going to be able to watch it with us. Thank you. You can get back to your players, and we shall see you later for the finals. Thank you, Vince. Good. Now, guys, before we get into the show match, I have to say that Nintendo, in association with ESL, are really, really pleased to be able to bring you today these Go4 finals here live from the Paris stage. And as you know, live does mean having an audience, and it does mean putting a lot of pressure on some of these players. Some of you have commented in the chats online that yes, it's a stressful environment. So to relieve some of that stress, we have a small video from Nintendo especially for you. Let's take a look.
Hello everyone. I am a diligent researcher from the Squid Research Lab. Thanks to everyone who's attending this grand final today in Paris. And congratulations to the athletes who made it this far. A lot of players from so many different countries in Europe participated in the Go4Splatoon event. And it's been great to see the competition get fiercer and more exciting. Sadly, my research here is keeping me busy, and I couldn't make it to the grand final today. But you can be sure I'll be watching exciting games from here with the other members of the Squid Research Lab. I'd like to introduce you to one of our latest findings. And this is a world-exclusive sneak peek. It's a new stage for Splatoon 2 for Nintendo Switch. It's called Humpback Pump Track. The map design is based on an indoor BMX track and has a lot of curvy ups and downs. Jellyfish are enjoying riding BMX, but Inklings love to battle here. What do you think? We really appreciate the fans in Europe for their fantastic support for Splatoon for many years. Thanks to all your warm support, we've been able to continue our research and we're able to announce Splatoon 2. There are still so many things that are not revealed about Splatoon 2. Please look forward to its release this summer. Oh, I'm being told that we have a Splatoon 2 exhibition match that should be taking place right now. Have a great match. Stay fresh.
Well, stay fresh indeed. That BMX track looks amazing, and I know that the fans here at least are really pumped to see it. So let's get into some Splatoon 2 action. You've been waiting for it, and we are ready to get rolling. We are ready to get painting these wonderful new tracks that we've got ready. We are going to be bouncing onto the Nintendo Switch with 2 teams come specially for this show match. I would like to introduce the very first team. It's Cooldown! So I'm here with Zalex, who is the captain of this team, Cooldown. You guys are here to show us Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch. How awesome is that game? What's your first feelings about this game as it's coming out later this year in summer of 2017?
The game moves so fast, and Splatoon 1 no moves so very fast, and it's really hard to take the game for the first time.
So it's faster in terms of pace, but does the strategy change? How are you adapting to this new game?
We don't have a bubble or Kraken, so no invincibility. So this game is really more dynamic, and that changed really a lot of this thing.
Perfect. Well, before you guys go and get ready here, and before we welcome the second team, what's it like to be here in front of so many people playing this game? Is it nerve-wracking? Are you nervous about this? I'll take that for a yes. I think they're very nervous here. Okay, well, guys, go and get ready. I'm going to keep the captain here, but you guys can go and get ready. And we are going to welcome the second team coming up on stage. Zalex, you're going to stay with me while we welcome this second team. It is Oviedo Hokusai. We are really glad that you could make it to come here. I am with Jordi, the captain of this team. How excited are you to be able to show us Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch right now?
Yeah, we are really excited to play it. We are born to this moment.
So you guys have come all the way from Spain, if I'm not mistaken. What's it like to be here in Paris for this tournament?
Sorry?
What's it like to be in Paris for the tournament?
Just being here is a dream. It's our goal. We are really glad to be here.
So, this new game, as we heard, is a much bigger, a much faster pace to the game. But does the strategy change? How have you and your team been able to adapt to this new game?
Well, it's a new game, so we can afford it. We can to play, and let's see how it's going.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep the captain with me. Your team can get ready. Good luck, guys, and we'll see you soon. Now, captains, walk with me. This way. No, this way, please, captains. This way. There we go. Okay. Bit chaotic to start off, but hopefully this show match is going to be amazing. Captains, good luck. There we go, guys. We are getting set. Our 2 teams are getting ready. We do have Cooldown on the left versus Oviedo Hokusai on the right. They are going to be playing on Splatoon 2, which will be coming out in summer of this year, so look out for it. And if you guys have already got the Nintendo Switch, you will be able to play on it. And if not, well, maybe some of the players here will be able to go home with their own Nintendo if they win, as indeed the winners of this grand final just after this show match will be leaving with their own Nintendo Switches. But right now, it's time for some Splatoon 2, and right now we are going to go back to the caster deck, back to Rene and Bowie. Guys, up to you.
Thanks, James. And could please someone call the Japanese developer and ask for a special way of ride to BMX on that map? I mean, I looked at that map and I was like, wow, that looks so cool. I mean, all those possibilities due to the angled turf and all that, it's great. But I want to BMX. That track looked amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it was almost reminiscent in a way of Black Belly Skate Park, but just with the height, instead of kind of bowling in, it kind of like spreads out, and I think that changes the dynamic of it quite a lot. Especially with a lot of the new options that are in Splatoon 2. Obviously, we have this new weapon in the Splat Dualies, with these dual kind of like pistols, which have this kind of new, the jetpack special, which kind of allows you to hover. It's like a jump in midair almost. It's not really.
You can't really go that high. It's basically floating.
You can just kind of float and like go a little bit higher. But it kind of changes the dynamic of the game because normally it's kind of swimming on the ground, on the walls, but the air is now a punishing place.
but I just love the barrel roll.
Yeah.
I have to say that. Everyone knows that from the videos already, but I played Splatoon 2 yesterday in the studio here to experience it.
Look at he's confident. The confident young lad. Oh dear. This is, I mean, anyone who did own a Switch, if you do own a Switch, obviously we did have the test fire, the global test fire very, very recently. So if you have already had a go, first of all, let us know what you thought about it. I thought it was great fun. I tried to use the Splat Dualies, but they are quite difficult, I think, for me. I'm not really much of a motion control player. I tend to use just the stick, because obviously the gyro in the Pro Controller and in the handheld mode, and obviously just the Joy-Cons themselves, allows this fantastic motion control, which really aids to that. Not really my personal play style, but it does it really feels nice and very natural to kind of play in that way as well.
I played it on Switch yesterday, and when I came to VU to test out Splatoon 1, I'm so sorry that you weren't there to play, but the controls got a lot better on Splatoon 2. It feels more refined when you aim with gyro, when you even aim with a joystick. Like on Splatoon 2, you got the feeling like you're really in control of the crosshair. Yeah. It's not like sometimes you're wobbling around, because that could be up to my skill, I'm honest. But
it's probably up to you.
Really, on Splatoon 2, it's a lot better. It's so smooth, it's so accurate,
yeah,
and all that stuff. And then with the barrel roll, giving you even more viable options to move around someone and to really get in their mind with popping up left, popping up right, squinting around. Yeah. Great. I really love the new controls.
Yeah. I think the thing about that as well specifically is the ability to fine-tune the sensitivity of that is much more diverse, or much broader. You can get into a lot more specific. So we're going to jump into this game. This is a bit more of an enjoyable bit of fun here. So less worry about going into the hardcore thing. But we are going to see these players. Obviously, these are very, very good players. Cooldown just narrowly missed out on being in the top 4, so still really, really good. This is the Jetfire here, which allows you to fire up these kind of landing air to surface.
Heat-seeking missiles more.
Yeah, flat missiles. Yeah.
I mean, that's the map we also played on the build here in the studio, which is the cool map. Since it's centered so hard, you will always find someone from the opponent team and get stuck in an opponent ink so fast. But of course, this is Turf War, so it's not one of the modes we will see today. Not even the grand final. It's the one where you have to cover as much turf as possible.
Indeed, yeah.
So you will always see in the end who wins this, because Turf War, some of the matches you're like, we definitely won that, and then you see it on the map, it gets counted, and then you lost. I really love that one, but do we see someone with a duel? I would love to see the duel.
Yeah, I really hope someone has picked up the Splat Dualies.
Oh, great move across the wall, getting one spike, getting second nearly, not finishing it off.
Trying the 2v1, but getting pulled down at the last second. Bit of a shame. We can see
Splat from above.
Yeah, you can see these splatter shots being used here. I think it's one of those things. It's like a comfort pick, isn't it? Really. I do hope you can find some a Gito there, just trying to hold ground, but our fourth player just using that Splat Roller to finish off.
Here, Oviedo with that, I would say it's not really hot pink, but that's the only color that comes to my mind when seeing that against yellow here. Cooldown on yellow. It's hot pink. You think I could say that? Okay, hot pink for Oviedo, the Spanish team.
I say tickled pink.
Tickled pink. Oh, okay. They're on the normal splatter shot.
Well, yeah, that was very nice evasion. Getting into that corner, just hiding away as best as possible.
Well,
really good awareness.
You saw that movement there. He used the bomb to cover ground to make sure he can move without using the ink for his splatter shot. I mean, of course, it also costs ink if you use sub-weapon.
Yeah.
But it's so much faster, and he's still got that available.
What I like about the Jetfire as a special is that when you know it, so you can see it happening. It's got a little bit of delay, but what it does is it forces you to always kind of have a get out plan. So if you see it happen, you have to react immediately, and you have to kind of move, even if it's forward or if it's back. You can't stay even in the near area of where you are. You have to kind of just haul and go.
There we got the new Observer mode to get as well. That's something I really, really like about Splatoon 2, being more accessible for esports here. And it seems like Oviedo currently in the lead, still 15 seconds to go. That's now cooldown. Now I'm a bit confused. Cooldown was on yellow, right?
Cooldown pink, yeah, and Hokusai are the green.
Green, yeah. Where do you see green?
On the green bit. It's pink and green.
the show match showing off everything we know about colors here on the caster desk. That's not green, that's yellow, or?
That is pink, though, winning it in the nice 6.3% lead over that one there. And we did see, obviously, we got 2 Spiller shots. There's the Splat Julies. Actually, yes, we see that Hokusai didn't actually use the Splat Julies in that match, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I played it all the time because I thought it's something new. I want to enjoy it. But you got 2 crosshairs as well.
You do, yeah. That's a really interesting thing to talk about as well, because, like, you know, your central focus isn't just, you know, one crosshair. You have to kind of like find a
it's not
pitch this
overlapped.
middle ground.
It's
Yeah.
not overlapped.
No.
That's
they
it.
are separate. They are kind of like next to each other, but you have to kind of pitch that middle ground, or you can even use it to your advantage. If you know that an opponent is on a particular side, you can actually just use that one Julie to get as many hits as you might need.
Ovido taking win on the first map.
Oh, that's a nice
We're
colour.
back to the same map, of course, since this is a preview build. It's not the full flashed out version.
There is actually, I wanted to quickly mention this. There's the new mode to or a new ability with the Splat Roller. So normally you just throw paint in a wide arc, but now you can see sometimes you can twist it and make it throw in a longer, thinner line like that. You see, which allows you to create a line that you can just swim straight, which allows you to get this real sense of momentum. It's not as powerful in, you know, the kind of the burst damage from, you know, the tighter clump of ink with the wider shot, but it is really good for range.
Now we've got green, just to let you know.
That is green, yeah.
That is green.
That's more like tealy colour. Blue-green.
Just to talk about that once again, obviously Agita from cooldown here being under pressure, left, right, shots everywhere, getting splatted there very soon.
Fired.
2 splats, shots fired.
Yes.
Wow, where did that come from?
Hey, you've already done it. It's my turn. Everybody gets one, my friend. Everybody gets one.
I still want to join them on that match. I really enjoyed that
I
map.
know.
I know Turf War, due to it being not a competitive mode anymore, since the community didn't like it that much, since Rainmaker it allows more strats. You could win Turf War without really going for the opponent.
Yeah. I think it's nice to also talk about, you know, because we are at a tournament, a competitive Splatoon event. You know, the one thing that's kind of big about this, you mentioned it earlier, is this spectator mode, the ability to kind of, you know, watch and preview these games and, you know, and see, get that overall view, which would be, you know, really be good going into the idea of more competitive Splatoon. Very conducive, you know, to that wider view experience.
Yeah, it gives a bit more overview for us casters as well. I mean, you know that if you play Splatoon 1, it's a great game, but if you want to know something about players and you're not really playing that, it's very, very hard. There are no accessible information about which weapon they have so far, splats and downs and everything.
And this really opens it up. This kind of just says, like, this is all the information you need, and we're going to give that to you immediately.
We'll step up our caster game.
We'll do our best, boys and girls. We'll do our best. And also, yeah, I mean, the thing is as well is because, you know, there isn't this 2-screen experience anymore. You know, so the Nintendo Switch has gone to this hybrid of, you know, the home console and the handheld console. The controls have changed a little bit as well. So if you are a big Splatoon, you know, player and you're going to be moving on to this second one, just, you know, respect that you need to kind of spend a little bit more time just to get used to how everything works. You know, the X button no longer jumps, opens the map. So, you know, refamiliarize yourself with this. Really spend some time.
And do that before you head into the first match. We were playing against Nintendo guys, and I was trying to jump away and then turn around and just open the map, got flooded.
And the thing is they probably know what they're doing. So
you think so?
Yeah, you think.
Rematch. I call that for a rematch.
Kathy here, though, just nicely getting a final splat there, covering as much ground as they can. And who is going to be victorious? So let's have a look.
Do you know who's on which color?
Who's which color?
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me that. Don't
I saw it, but I was just like, I will ask you, just in case.
I think Cooldown was the purple.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay, so
I have to say that because, of course, this show match is for us to talk about Splatoon 2, so it's not the normal shout casting, so we're not casting the match, we're trying to have a look at Splatoon 2.
Nice little, in honor of the Switch, a nice little hybrid of the two, my friend.
Oh, that's how we call it right now, but that's when your co-caster just totally misses the point and doesn't really know which team is which color.
Oh, whatever.
I'm just covering up that I also forgot, so don't worry.
There you go, you see? Oh, dear.
It's not the blaming game today, don't worry. I'm a nice person.
Okay. Next game.
No, I can't do that anymore.
No, it's fine. So I believe this is a best of 5. Is this one?
Yes.
So hopefully we're going to see. We're going to see a little bit of a fight back.
It's a best of 7.
Best of 7, even better, even better. More Splatoon 2 for you guys to sink your teeth into. So, you know, we're going to see, yeah, we got a nice blue and a nice pink. Again, Cassie from Hokusai here, sticking with the
Splat
shot. Sorry,
yeah.
you know, you're just kind of thinking. You're watching whilst also trying to talk at the same time. Sometimes that's quite difficult.
And the splatter shot is still great because you can get down more damage with the duels, but duels cover up so much ground if you need to.
Also, I mean, a lot of the weapons have different specials now as well. So again, it's relearning, you know, the synergy between the weapon you're using and, you know, the specialities they have. Nice shutdown there.
Yeah, by the splatter shot once again, but it's still hard. We would need real names above the players, but of course, since this is a test build, it just says player 6, player 5.
So
will be a lot easier later.
We do have our Splat Julies here in Zelair, so it might be nice to kind of have a little bit of time on this, just to see the dynamics of this and see how it works. With those suction bombs as well, which kind of like hold that space and cover a lot of ground now. You can see there the targeting from the Jetfire coming in and then immediately having to back away. The oppressive nature just locks down so incredibly.
And you can only back off fast enough if you got covered the ground. That's the problem with that weapon. If you get caught in the wrong moment, there's no way for you to run away from that from those missiles.
I keep using Jetfires 10 to missiles. I'm sorry. You know, oh man.
Why do you go for Jetfires? They're clearly missiles.
Yeah, it's true. They are. You're not
but
wrong.
the jetpack, we now got the jetpack. I played that one. It's not that easy since you now conquer the air. You got more room to do a miss shot.
yeah, you got more room for misplay. Yeah, that is true. But yeah, you do become a bit of a harder target. Although the thing is, like, the thing about it is, you not only are you airborne, but you also do have, you know, a weapon as well. You know, you fire these big explosive shots. But you are very slow. You're very vulnerable in that regard. So you have to find a position that's good, and also you have to execute it at a good position, because at the end of it you jump back to where you were. So if you do it in the middle of the fray and don't come out victorious, you're going to land back where you started, and your opponents are going to know that.
Yeah, you basically just got a sign on your back reading kick me.
Yeah, pretty much.
That will happen. So that's also what happens after jetpack. If it expires, you get more like your kickback and then land onto the map. Like Jonah gets splatted here by the dualies. I really love that, because with that barrel roll being in that game right now, it's something that only one Inkling can do, and you need to be aware of that, because it's a totally different movement.
Yeah. I think one thing also to talk about as well regarding Splatoon 2, and it's, you know, its conducive nature to playing, you know, competitively, and with play, you know, we do have this local multiplayer option now, and the ability just to take your Switch out, meet up with a friend, connect, and immediately play with each other anywhere you want, be it at your home, when you're out. Yeah. Good. Who won?
Cooldown. Cooldown is on blue. So that meant Oviedo won.
Yeah, that was.
Okay,
indeed.
that's 2-1.
2-1 to Hokusai. Oviedo.
Yep.
Hokusai. Good stuff there, but yes.
Leading.
That was very, very good, and we did get to see a little bit of those Splat Julies at work as well. You know, didn't come out victorious in the game, but it was you know, nice to see them, and the variety of different things you get. You know, that's the thing there. Splatoon 2 is really mixing up that original formula. You know, the formula, the core formula is still there and still strong, but it's, you know, twisting everything you know to kind of make you, you know, go back inside that game, really delve into, you know, the new mechanics, the new dynamics, and the new, as I was saying earlier, the synergy between the weapons. Because sometimes you really enjoy a weapon, but its sub-weapons aren't so good, and you think, I really want to use this weapon, but I don't like the subs with it. So, you know, we're going to have a little mix-up and see what else we can find with those.
Since the community spotted that already, of course, this is the, like, I don't want to say that, but the old build of Splatoon 2. And you know what that means? That Splatoon 2 has even more surprises, because that's why they're not showing the new build. We saw the new map already, and I'm pretty sure that there will be even more awesome ideas. Because if you look at that game, you know that the directors behind it, like creative director or the art designer, those guys must be crazy. I want to live in their head. All that color, all those different weapons, like this one here, if it locks onto a target, it's great. It's just not that great if you actually pull off that special and there's no one to lock on. Had that once yesterday, didn't really work. Jonah once again on the Splat.
So here's the new one of the new subs as well, the curling bomb. So that
it was a charger. Sorry.
It's kind of similar to a Seeker, but has some differences. So the Seeker, obviously, it moves in and then it will home in on someone and you can go after them and then strike them down, leaving ink behind them. The curling bomb, literally, you just send it in one direction, it bounces off any walls. So you can use it kind of like to go around corners, maybe. So it's quite an interesting strategy or strategic item in the way that you'd use it. So I'm interested to see the way that these players that we've seen today are going to really improve or kind of build and develop strategies using these new skills and abilities. The curling bomb being a specific one.
Yeah, bringing in billiard plays more or less, like movement around corners with that one shot. While we see Oviedo being on blue now, that's something we should remember when heading onto the result screen for this one.
The only downside, and now this is a fantastic new special as well. So it's like. I kind of like combine it. If you were to combine the Killer Whale with the Splatling gun, it's just kind of like this massive beam that you can just just let rip with and take down as many enemies as possible. You can see as well, just as well as the fact that they are just kind of like having fun and playing this new game, you can still see them, really pushing and just trying to formulate new ways of dealing with these maps.
Oh, we see Agita here, and a lot of pressure right in the center of the map, trying to get back with the splat bombs.
Definitely one thing about this game as well that I think makes it very unique, at least the mechanics make it very unique, is that we all know that map knowledge is really important in competitive gaming, knowing where you can go and where you can't go. But I think there's an even deeper level of that in this, given the movement options and the way in which you can interact with these maps. The interaction with the map's the most important thing, so being able to know them is the most important thing. So, yeah, as you can see, just being, and that's very nice. You can follow your curling bomb in squid form, which is very nice. You almost saw a fantastic trap, staying behind the curling bomb, popping up, splat, but it didn't happen. Unfortunately, he got caught out, but that is the end of the game. And we'll see if Cooldown in yellow will take this one and make it a 2-all, or will Hokusai, Oviedo Hokusai, take a 3-1. It is 2-all, my good sir. Very, very nicely played by Cooldown there. Just pushing. Sticking with their tried and true 3 splatter shots and 1 splat roller. I want to see them experiment with more weaponry. They want to win, obviously, but I would like to see them, see what else they can do. We don't know if that's going to be the case, but it's always nice to see.
They're in full competition mode already.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only a show match for Splatoon 2. It's not released yet. We know that will come out in summer. But they're in full competitive mode.
Yeah,
they just want to make this happen on stage. I can understand that. I saw the audience when we went down there before going up to the caster desk, because we're a bit not far away from them, but we're on the upper level. Audience is down right below us right now.
Yeah.
And I can understand that. You don't want to miss your chance to win in front of such an audience. We see Agito now.
This is a lovely
once again,
green.
Cooldown on green. I will just do that now.
Yeah, just write that down. Yeah, cooldown on green. There we go. We're covering up.
Not doing that mistake once again. No chance.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to go into the couple of the new features here, because it is important to kind of highlight this. Obviously, you will have your your Switch ID name above your character, so it's easier to identify players and who you are splatting, and when you are playing competitively, like multiplayer, either online or off. But I think a lot of people who play Splatoon do love a lot of the style in this game. It's if you have a look at just the overall aesthetic, is very, very unique. But obviously, squids, kids, they want to be fresh and cool. So there is a whole wider range of outfits, of even hairstyles you can do now to kind of customize and create your perfect squid as well.
Maybe one day they will recreate casters into the game. Just try to imagine myself as a squid. Looks dope.
You heard it here first, Nintendo.
Yeah, bring in caster Inglings.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
As an amiibo? You as an amiibo with a bandana?
Well, I mean, could you imagine that? Technically, we have obviously the lovely Callie and Marie as our spokespersons.
You're Marie?
Pun?
You're a Marie?
I am a Marie, yeah. Are you a Callie by any chance? I don't know.
But we're not bringing you the ranked stage today. We're not doing that.
I mean, this is something that I've always found interesting. There's this is, I'm probably showing my age here, but my eyes don't always keep up with the squid when they're going fast through the ink. You can just see the ability to, see the movement in the ink, lock down, change that direction and fire. It's accuracy, it's decision making. It's really nice stuff.
Oh, the roller just jumped right onto it.
A very, very hectic central play there, but really nice. Splats back and forth. There's that range. You can see it going really far, just pushing back opponents while staying safe.
It's a bit like a second charger, more or less. It is as you could use the roller for close order combat, and that's range. Being like charger special down there.
Oh wow, fantastic! Yeah, use it because obviously it does mean that you have to be a lot more accurate. But you can see here, Geordie's, his specific movement and that aiming, very nice. Clean. I say clean play when he's covering the map in ink. Ironic, I guess.
For the last 25 seconds here, will Oviedo turn this into a 3-2 for them, or will it be cooldown coming on top? But this is a BO7, so it's not over yet. Not just yet. They still wait to trade in me. I will go down there, and I will win the last map. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, go for it, yeah. So again, you just... Right, well, we'll see who wins, then I'll go into that
I just wanted to say something, and then the match was over, but that's...
Oh, that's a close one. That's a close one.
Green.
Oh! What? 0.5% in the 2. That was a very
Oviedo,
close turf war.
The lead for the Spanish team here. Cooldown, actually, that was the one team that scored the most points in the ESL Go4 series, but unfortunately never won a monthly final. That's why they're not here, because all the teams here, they won a Go4 Cup, then qualified for the Go4 monthly final, won the monthly final, go into the grand finals. But they scored so much points all over the season, but weren't able to win a monthly final.
I mean, that's the thing. You can perform really well during the season and kind of, push and, I keep saying push randomly. I don't even know why I'm saying push. But you can, do very well and dominate your group stage and kind of, perform really well throughout the majority of the season. But if you can't get those, those final victories, the ones that kind of give you the either qualifications, it can unfortunately be, not appearing on the main stage or in the main tournament. But, there you can still see from the play here. They're playing with a new game which is with different controls on new maps. You can still see their immediate synchronicity with the game. They can pick it up. They feel comfortable despite the fact there are differences in those controls. And you can still see that those cogs turning, everything just clicking together and being able to talk between each other, and then just do what they need to do. You can see the competitive mindset immediately engaging in their minds, in their play style, and you can see them finding a really familiar and comfortable ground with Splatoon 2.
Oviedo taking away win number 4 and therefore winning the series here in the Splatoon 2 show match. But show match, that's not all we got, because we still got the grand final on our hands right now, and James will introduce that to us.
Yeah, absolutely, Rene. We've got the grand final coming up, but exceptionally, as it was the show match, I am with the 2 captains, and I'm going to start then with the captain of, unfortunately, the losing team, Cooldown. So, what was your thought process going into those last games? You were behind in points. Did you think you could catch up? Vous étiez derrière en termes de points. Est-ce que vous pensiez pouvoir rattraper la mise?
Ouais, franchement, on pouvait rattraper la mise. Il restait un point. C'était joué à 2 ballons, quoi. 2 ballons, 2 spéciaux, quoi, pas plus.
So yeah, they really did think that they could come back. Only a few good hits and it would have been a win. Unfortunately, that was 4-1. You are now sadly out, but it was a show match and you've come a long way. How was it like being here once again for the last time on stage in front of so many people? Ça fait quoi pour une dernière fois d'être devant tant de personnes ici en live pour Splatoon 2, un jeu génial?
Franchement, j'espère que ça va se refaire parce que le jeu est vraiment basé pour l'e-sport et Nintendo fait vraiment un bon boulot pour vraiment mettre un sport et ESL aussi, quoi.
So yeah, he really hopes that he'll be back here with some more Splatoon 2 action. He thinks it's a great esport game and he's really looking forward to seeing Nintendo and ESL go forwards in that direction in the future weeks and months coming up, especially with Splatoon 2 coming out later on this year in summer 2017. So thank you, stay with us. One sec, stay here, tu vas rester à 2 secondes. Reste, attends. Okay, and we are going to turn, so you won 4-1 in the best of 7. That is a huge score You must be feeling very happy about your team's performance today.
Yeah, we were happy. We were playing a lot of time, and well, teamwork is here. We show it.
So teamwork is especially important for you guys. Do you think it's more important in Splatoon 2 with this faster action, this faster pace, or do you think it's roughly the same in terms of teamwork as Splatoon, the first game?
I think that it's the same. Different mechanics, but it's the same.
So are you going to look forward to more competitive scenes on Splatoon 2 coming up in the next few months?
Of course.
And you hope to be back here once more, maybe later on this year or the year after?
Yeah. if we can come here, yes.
Great. Okay, well, we're going to let our captains get back to their teams. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon. Later, we'll catch up. You can go back to your teams. Thank you. So, there we go. That was, unfortunately, all we can show you on Splatoon 2. But don't worry, it is coming out very soon. It's coming out in summer of this year. So if you have the Nintendo Switch, you can grab it. And if you don't have the Nintendo Switch, well, this is a perfect excuse to go and get that new console as well. Back to the original Splatoon, back to our competition, back to today's events. We have got some amazing games coming up, another best of 7. But before then, quick message. Don't forget, ESL are with Nintendo today, and we are very proud to be able to bring you this Go4, these European Go4 finals here on the stage, live from the ESL France stage. And this is, again, a short message for you guys from Nintendo.
Hello again, everyone. We've seen a lot of great matches today. I am always impressed and encouraged by the spirit of participating teams who give it their all, even when it's just an exhibition match. We really appreciate that you all play this game seriously. Well, it's almost the end of the tournaments that have been running for 6 months now. Let the grand final begin. Good luck to both teams.
And welcome back to the caster desk here with, of course, Bowie, should be known in the Nintendo world,
Hello.
and me, Renee Girona Butler, presenting you the grand final here, the ESL Splatoon grand final for the Go4 series. And actually, we know this day is all about surprises, but the biggest surprise today was actually that James spoke French on the stage. I saw the Twitch chat, and everyone was like, wow, didn't expect that. I mean, I know that he's French, so I knew that he could do that. But I really loved that he was doing that to make sure that the team was able to reply in French, able to really talk about what they want, what they try to achieve and all that. Because we want to know more about players. We want to see them as talents, as the pros of the game. So we need to learn more about them, hear more about them. If they're not able to speak English, we can definitely sort that out. But I can say hablo español muy mal, so I won't do that with Oviedo.
I was about to say that myself. I was actually looking forward to see if James could bust out Spanish as well. I'd be like, right, the triple threat. I think it's very important you say that, and especially when it comes to Splatoon and competitive Splatoon, because it's very community driven. It's got a very, very strong community, and especially in Europe, because it is a very, very strong region in the world. I was speaking to a good friend of mine, Tudos, who I was discussing. I said, honestly, who do you think's better? From what you've played, and he's very impressed with the way that the EU plays. So we have a very strong scene here, and it's nice to be able to support that, cultivate that, and really know that really, really support it as best we can with events like this, and obviously allowing their voice to be heard, and show their skills with a game like this. It's this surprise hit of a competitive game.
Means we need to learn more languages, but not right now because we got the grand finals on our hands. It will be Bai against Rising Moon. It was a bit of a surprise that Bai was able to take the first semi-final 3-0 against Cream Fresh, because they did exactly the same in the qualifier, but it counted now. It counted today.
Exactly.
And Bai did a better job here. Rising Moon taking the win against Extermination, so the German team out as well. And the French, like the local heroes, are still in the competition.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something that could give them an advantage right now?
I think it's one of those things that, again, they maybe weren't seeded to win, but they kind of just pushed through and just they took on a very, very strong team who were in a weakened state, granted, but they didn't let because they didn't know what might have been coming out of Extermination, knowing that they did have that weaker player. They still couldn't just go, oh, it's going to be fine. They're missing a particular player. They didn't let any overconfident show. They were still quite, reserved. They played the way they needed to play, and actually, as I said, they're that sleeper team, the hidden boss that just comes out of nowhere and really dominates the game. And they did a really, really good job. They had burst play, they had rush down, they had really, really good defense as well. They had, the makings of a really good all-round team.
I mean, coming from the semi-final to the BO7 Grand Final, that also means that we changed the modes. So we're not starting with Splat Zone this time. We'll start with Tower Control, then over to Rainmaker, Splat Zone, back to Tower, Rainmaker, Splat Zone. But then, in case we need map number 7... Everyone is waiting for me to say Turf War.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
We'll do Rainmaker again. So Rainmaker could be the deciding mode.
Which I do love, because it is this really scarily dangerous mode.
Yeah,
it can just be
which
over
team
in a
does it
second.
better?
It's a good question, isn't it? That's what we're going to find out. How can we really say until we see these two pit themselves against each other? I think, one of the players I'm really, really looking forward to seeing in this one, I really want to see how Cebu deals with this. Obviously, ex-Cooper Clan member who's moved over, ex-former who moved over to this, to kind of build into Rising Moon, and I'm gonna really I'm gonna watch him as best I can, basically, to see kind of how he what he does to help him take this final game.
We'll also be up to Binks and Sendo to really motivate their team now, since they're both team captains on their side. Sendo on Bai, Binks, of course, on Rising Moon. You need to motivate your team once again. It's not about not being motivated, but getting them the right mindset to win such a grand final.
Yeah.
It's just not another game. Even if you stay calm throughout the whole tournament, the final is a completely different story, because you now realize, hey, we did it. We went through to the final.
Yeah.
Now it counts. It's only that one, not really that one game, but that one series that decides. Either would be the Splatoon champion here, European champion, more or less. Or we go home and say, yeah, we have been in the final, but, basically no one knows who came second. Which is sad, but that happens. Welcome in the world of sport.
Yeah. Indeed. Okay.
So hopefully the guys are ready. I'm just waiting for confirmation for the start of the grand final here, because we don't know the maps yet. Of course, it will be Bai versus Rising Moon. But before we start the grand final, let's go back to James and find out more about the teams.
Thanks, Rene. Thanks, Barry. And yes, these are the prizes that the winning team is going to leave with. Yes, this is the grand final, and yes, it's the best of 7, and it's going to be the last matchup of the day. So to get things started, again, to get painting right now, we are going to welcome our first team, Rising Moon! And again, I am with the captain here, Binks, you are in the final. Did you follow the matches here? Did you follow Bai's match, and did you follow the strategy that they were using? And did you prepare for this game?
No, we have no idea. we didn't get to see their match. So, surprise.
So surprised. But do you have a strategy then that you know your team is good with? Are you confident that you can leave with the Nintendo Switches that you can see behind us?
We have our chance, and we'll try to.
And so, a lot of people have been watching us, a lot of people are here in the audience. Before we get going, do you have a last little message you want to say to people?
We're glad to be here. It's our home. It's kind of a dream for myself, at least, because I'm kind of old for a player. And so I'm glad to have the chance to get here.
Perfect. Well, Binks, thanks a lot. You're going to stay with me. Your teammates can go and get ready. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you soon. Binks, we are going to welcome the team that started off this day. A team that started off not just with a splash, but with 3-0 in their first game. Let's see if this team manages to continue with the same score. It is Team Bai! So Team Bai, I am here with Sendu. Sendu, you look stoic. You don't look too excited. Are you ready for this game? You look like concentrated, like mad. How are you feeling right now?
Well, it's just another game, really. Like, no reason to get too stressed about it. I mean, these guys, so it's not too bad for us.
I guess just by coming here, you've already won, in a sense, the fact of being able to play in front of so many people on stage here live. Is that in itself a victory?
No, I usually like just winning. That's for me, I think.
3-0, that's how you open up the day. That's how you started off this tournament, or this day, this final day in the tournament. Do you think that's how you're going to end it, with maybe a 4-0 in a best of 7? Do you think you can do that again?
Well, I think it's possible. Like, I think last time we played these guys, it was also 3-0. So I'm confident it might be 4-0, 4-1, but I guess we'll see in like 2 minutes or something.
In 2 minutes or something. Okay, guys, you can go get ready. I'm going to keep Sendu with me. Sendu, Binks, come this way, please. So, we are ready to go into the very last game of the day. I hope we can see an amazing best of 7. Good luck, gentlemen. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our two teams are getting ready once more. We have Rising Moon to my left and the amazing Bai to my right. Hopefully, we are going to have some great gameplay. And once more, and for the final time of the day, it's back to our lovely casters to bring us into the heart of this best of 7 game. Rene, up to you and your colleague up there in the caster desk.
After you won the community with speaking French, he now tries to be nice to us.
He's just trying to do it all.
Yeah,
he's an all-rounder. He's the all-rounder.
Do you saw dude smile in the background? Looking at Sigil, maybe I should have become captain. That really looks good to stay there and have the interview.
I mean, Sendo as just so flat. Yeah, no, I only care about winning. And it'll be over in 2 minutes. And yeah, I mean, you can see. I mean, I know I was calling earlier. I was saying that Rising Moon are a bit of a hidden boss. It's not. I mean, they are all well-known players. Obviously, they're from different areas that have all come together. So their synergy together, I think, is what I was more referring to. But it's you can see how well they know each other. They've been playing each other, in tournaments here, there, online, offline, maybe wherever they can. On the rare occasion that there are those LAN events. So you can see that everyone is having fun, but Sendo just wants to send that crushing blow home still, just to say, yeah, we're friends, but I'm going to beat you still. I'm still one of the best.
Dude, of course, with that experience from the Great Splash Off in the UK, so he knows about live stages, about grand finals on his stage today. But hey, that was looking dope right now. We got the grand finals on our hands. We got. I shouldn't say that word.
I was just thinking, it's a very interesting word.
I'm sorry.
That's good.
But no, coming back to the grand final, we got great teams for this. No one said bye to bye, which is great because I wanted to make that joke when that happened in the semi-final.
I was going to say they got a bye through to the world.
Yes, so I didn't want to say that, so I'm more happy that they made it.
Yeah.
But right now, at least he said 2 minutes because we're starting with Tower and not 20 seconds because we're not starting with the Rainmaker.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that round 2 being Rainmaker, giving a team the opportunity to really smash their opponent? I mean, you win map 1, you win map 1, you go on to Rainmaker, you win Rainmaker in 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
It's definitely a momentum thing. If you have a really hard-fought victory, for example, and then you go on and have a really quick one, that's a clean 2-0. If you have a really hard-fought victory over a very, very difficult map, and then you get smashed back, it's like all the momentum that you fought to win a game is immediately taken away. So that game 2 is really, really important. I know it's a best of 7, so it won't be over on the third one, but just having that extra leg up, and if it is a quick shutdown, that is how either do you bounce back from that, or how do you use that momentum to push through to your next games. It's the stare down the camera there. It's as I say, it is momentum, and it's the peace of mind to either fight back against that, go with it, or just wrestle control back.
I mean, we will see Nike probably once again on the Charger.
Yeah, probably.
Now starting on Tower. He did a good job in the first matches today, but Rising Moon just had a match. There was a show match in between, so they're not that cool down. Don't want to use the other team name for that, but you know what I mean.
You're really trying. I'll give you points for trying.
Yeah, really. I tried to avoid that, but
it's okay.
It just happened.
It's okay.
But yeah, they're not that hot anymore. They don't come right from the controller onto this match. Do you think that isn't it advantage or disadvantage right now?
I mean, both teams have had enough of a cooldown from. I said it, whatever. They had enough of a cooldown from their previous games that neither one is going to be riding the momentum of their previous match. Even though there's been a little bit more time between Bai's game than Rising Moon's, but both teams have still had enough time apart that they're not going to be completely and utterly still in that zone, in that emotional state, but they still have got the wind behind their wins. I think specifically Bai's 3-0 against Creme Fraiche, because Creme Fraiche is a very, very strong team, perhaps one of the favourites, and Bai just went, you 3-0'd us, we'll 3-0 you when it matters, and then they're kind of like, well, we've taken out one of the biggest threats. Don't underestimate anyone else, but that was the one that they'd lost to. That was a specific loss that they had. So by removing the fear of that happening again, it removing that fear of losing to the team from that. So it's just quite important, to get that out of the way. And now they're not probably going to be as afraid of losing to another team potentially.
I just saw, we saw on the screen, hopefully we can jump back to Bai once again. You saw Dude now with his hoodie up, because that's his serious mode. He had that hoodie on top during breakfast.
Serious mode, yeah.
Serious mode.
I'm going to destroy this breakfast. This is going down.
He didn't have that during our briefing for the players when he had to look at the venue. But now the matchup, hoodie back up, serious mode, just like breakfast, getting this done. So this is it. This is the grand final. I'm pretty sure Dude is ready for this one. Yeah, but also Binks on the other side. He looked confident right from the start when we met him this morning. He was relaxed.
Yeah.
Not chilled, but focused. That's it. He was just like, we're here for that one aim.
That calm before the storm. There's going to be so much information going in and out of his mind when he's actually playing. Aware that suddenly, hello, mate, how's it going?
You now need to come on, do it.
You're gonna have that. You're gonna have that moment when suddenly all the information's rushing. So it's kind of it's just distilling everything that he needs. Focusing on what he needs to do. That when it gets to that moment, where he needs to make those split second decisions, and put everything on the line. You don't want to sit there and get het up or start fretting about what's going to happen, because that's just going to hinder your play when it comes to it. A lot of people, when they're thinking about things like competitive gaming or competitive whatever esports, however you would like to phrase it, it's just as competitive in that mindset as any other kind of sport, in that way that it's not just a case of what can you do, what can you physically do in the game, or technically do in the game. That mental aspect is so incredibly important. A lot of people tend to forget about it, and this is where you see the difference between those those very, very strong players, but mid-level or slightly higher level players that don't always get all the way through, or the teams that don't always make the way through because the pressure gets to them. Their head starts interfering with how exactly they can play, and that's where the top teams really shine. They can focus. They can kind of keep away all the excess that might get in their way, and they can really focus on the things that they need to, and as I say, distill everything and go, right, this is important, this isn't important, and compartmentalize their game and themselves, and play for the team in a much better way.
Crowd seems to be ready for the grand final as well. Just talking about the team, but that on Team Bai, Dude is signed off with Chimera.
Yes.
Is that correct? That should be his team. He's now playing for Bai. Do you think that might be a disadvantage for the team, that they are more or less like a mixed group? They're all individual, very good players, but in the end it will be down to communication.
But I think that comes down, that's more of an issue personally, I think, for Rising Moon, because they're from a lot more of a diverse background. So Urza used to be with Cooldown, the team who just didn't make it through, and you see, as I was mentioning earlier, Sibo is from or was from Cooper Clan as well. But with Bai, 3 members are from Chimera. That's Sorin, Sendo, and Dude are all from Chimera, and then Nike is the extra player who's been brought in to create Team Bai. So I think that there is indeed elements of that in both teams, because there is not a clean full roster from one team all the way through, from the beginning of the release of the game until this point. Neither of these teams have their initial beginning roster, but I know, right? There's a lot of cosplay going on.
Wow, how'd you get that one?
Look at this guy. Crack
wow,
shot.
that's a Tinder tag splash.
It is.
I just want one.
It is pretty cool.
Okay, I will be back in a second.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I'll hold down the fort, sir.
Please.
I'll hold down the fort. But
please secure the objective. I will be back in a second, just grabbing that Tinder tag.
Yeah, no worries. Splat zones.
Yeah, we're not playing Splat Zones first. We play Tower, then Rainmaker, then Splat Zones, back to Tower. Yeah. But starting with Tower gives us the chance to see if there's any team dominating in movement, around an objective, because you need to secure the tower, but you don't want to put your whole team onto the tower.
Yes.
We know that there's an easy way for a Kraken to get back the tower. Yes. All 3 or 4 of them on the tower, a Kraken jumps up, done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just got in control of the tower without doing anything, but you got the rest of the team to support you all around it. And that's what all of the teams need to do right now. They need to have someone at the tower, then someone checking what's in front of them. Is there any trap, any ambush we might run into? What about the flanks? Can we do something? Do we do key presence, or do we go for flanking? Yeah. Stuff like that. And that's why I love those modes. Compared to Splat Zone. Splat Zone is a bit more flat when it comes to the approaches, because the objective is not moving.
Yeah.
So it's not running away.
The tower tends to, but I mean, I
was talking about Splat Zones.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was just saying in terms of that one wasn't, but the tower does. You're trying, sir.
Games at the casting
trying. This guy. I think this is where, again, I was mentioning it earlier in when Rising Moon were playing Extermination, but this is kind of what I saw with Urza. He was very proactive in the way in which he moved, and I think you were talking about that movement and how important that's going to be, perhaps going into getting that footing into the beginning of this next match. So I would like to see how Urza can use his movement and the way in which he's been communicating thus far with his team to really go lock down an advantage and hold on to that and do not let it go, because there's a lot on the line.
Okay, enough talking about. Now we need to go back to that one topic. Who's your favorite for this one?
Who's my favorite for this? That's a tough one. There is a lot of strength with Team Buy. However, I think that I'm going to go for the again. I'm calling them the wild card, but they're all fantastic players. They're just brought together. I think that we're going to see a nice little surprise from Rising Moon. They're going to come together, communicate brilliantly, put all the differences aside, and take home the W.
Okay, well, I will go with Team Buy, because what we saw in the first semi-final was pure map control. And I think that could be one of the important points in the grand final, because map control, you might not have the objective that moment, but map control gives you some kind of confidence, because your opponent is always like, oh, I can't move there, I can't go back, I can't do this, I can't do that. And that changes a lot of the mindset. So I think Buy is in a great position after they had this advantage in the first semi-final. So who is who? This is Orange. Please give us a name. That's Buy on Orange so far. First map.
So you can see Sendo going straight for the tower, making his way straight up there, and he gets taken out immediately by the Lunar Blaster of...
Yeah, Rising Moon, the first to be in control of the tower. Binks just falling down into the ink there. Luckily, there was no one waiting for him. You see now, 3 of them around the tower. Someone in the back. Sprinkler on that tower is a great way to make sure that the enemy can't move that fast around.
Binks did a lovely job to try and break away as well. However, you can see Soren came in, got double splat, immediately countered that. So again, the pushback is really, really nice.
Soren under pressure. Yeah, that was... it was Lunar Blast. I thought that might be a splash bomb. But that's fine. Same. Destiny for Kiver here, not really surviving that one. Seems like that's... Whoa, that was a clear push for Rising Moon here, down to 16. Yeah. And Buy now, for the first time, really in possession of the tower, pushing it back to the mid there. We see the splash wall on top of the tower.
I think it's so scary whenever I see Nike just line up a shot. I'm just thinking anyone could get splatted. Don't come round the corner, he's waiting for you.
But Nike also has the Kraken ready.
Yeah, you can see him again.
I'm a bit surprised that he leaves the tower now. He got the Kraken ready. His team is not even possession of it.
All he's doing, the possession, they got what they needed, so he just moved back to just try and control any kind of side. If anyone tries to get on the side, he's ready, waiting, protecting his team. Defensive measures like that are sometimes much better than kind of being on. But now you see him riding the tower now, sharking for a little bit, just to try and keep himself safe.
You saw map control once again up to Bai. That's what we talked about before. It seems like they're better when it comes to the turf war that goes on right through the map.
Bai has done an amazing job of just completely closing out Rising Moon from this, and you can see them riding all the way, 30 down to 30, pushing down to almost meet.
Amazing shot by Nike there, right in the air, splatting the player from Rising Moon, but then it was actually that Kelp Splitterscope that ended his life there.
And there's the turnaround, very important. Look at that, 8 away, 8 distance. I'm not sure what the actual measurement is. 8 distance. It could be meters. Let's go for meters.
I asked that yesterday to Nintendo, but they couldn't tell me.
It's 8 distance.
Well, maybe they didn't want to. I'm not sure.
That was really important for them to get that. There's still enough time. Obviously, it's only like, there's still got 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes. There's still enough time to bring this back. Killer Whale right down the center, completely pushes the entire opposing team off the tower, which actually is going in their favor now because Bai have managed to push back and take some splats. Oh, that beautiful.
They all wait for that one choke point to retake the tower. That's why we went down to 8 and 16 on both sides. They tried to reorganize the team, getting back in one push onto the tower just shortly before the opponent team would win this. But it's now, let's show, no one is in position of the tower so far. It seems like map control will go back to Rising Moon after Bai had a really good first run here, and it's Rising Moon onto the tower. Kaiba tried to make way for the tower there at the opponent's help. Oh, that was wrong name. That's why I was a bit surprised.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that wasn't.
Tell me, not look at me. Just let me know. But that's fine. Sendu here, getting splatted. Seems like Rising Moon could do that in just one push, but they also got 1 minute and 15 seconds for Bai to have a comeback, and they're currently leading. Do you think that Bai will just wait for the last meters once again for that choke point, then retake the tower? You're allowed to speak.
I was literally just sitting there, just watching what was happening there. Please, once more.
I just asked if you think that Bai might wait, but they took the tower now anyway. I was just asking if they wait for the choke point to retake the tower instead of doing it early and then might fail.
If you are going to wait for it, you do. If you're ever being passive and waiting, you risk the opportunity of giving your opponents enough time to organize. But there is also a risk in being a little bit too brash and just going in. That is just a play-by-play call. You have to be able just to make the decision and run with it.
That's right. Well, Sendu gets splatted once again. It's always the Lunar Blaster getting him there. Bing's here, getting rid of all his ink there to try to cover some turf, getting the tower on top because they only got 10 seconds to make that happen right now. 16-4 Rising Moon, 8-4 Bai. Will they do it in extra time? Maybe. They're very close to it, but Bings has to stay on the tower, has to move it forward. They know Super jumped onto the tower, 2 splats for Rising Moon. That looks very, very good. Going down to extra time.
This is very important. Now they lost it. That was very important for them. That was, they had it, but in just being able to hold on for that last minute, unfortunately they were not able to do so, and Bai takes that first game. I mean, it was an incredible first push from Rising Moon to get all the way down to just 16 away, but then you could see that, the regrouping from Bai was very, very coordinated. It was very... Wow, it was very, very quick. I was trying to think of some fancy word, but it's quick. And then they made that push. It was a long push because they had to go all the way back from the 16 point, and they just took it the entire way. That's a tough push to make, but they grinded that one out, and it paid off because they only had to push it. I mean, they managed to go from 0 all the way down to 8 in one elongated push, but it was in different stages, but it was one consistent push.
I loved how they handle it because they were down to 16 on the side of Rising Moon already after the first push. And then you saw Bai just building up to the lead, not rushing anything. They were not like, look guys, the scoreboard, we need to do something, jump in there. That's not what they did. They waited. Team captain was able to keep back his guys, and then That's how we do it. That's how we build up to the lead now. I know we're back in points, but we can make that happen. That's what they did. They were just patient, waiting for that one chance to push down to 8. Like I said, that was a really close match. And let's be honest, with 20 seconds more on the clock, this could have been either way.
Yeah, who's to say? The thing is, like in that overtime, that it's just a case of losing the tower and then it's suddenly over. As you say, with a little bit more time on the clock, would they have been able to immediately get that turnaround and push back? But again, it was very interesting that you're saying that they didn't get too het up by the score that they saw, like as you say, 16. We've got to get in there, got to rush and push. But it was a case of it's fine. Just do what you need to do. Cool, calm, collected. The 3 C's, and then just lock it down and just deal with it. Don't because the more you get really like scared about it, the more it's going to affect your play. This is very mature decision making to go like, right, calm, come back, organize, and then push.
Yeah, I mean, being hyped can be a huge advantage if you really love that pressure on and all that. But we all know it can make decisions very, very hard for you, and then you might go for the wrong one. While we see map 2 now underway with the Rainmaker.
More A towers as well. So this is a really interesting one. Again, every single map has its uniqueness, but those modes do change it up every single time. Just again, covering behind you so you have options. Immediately just going, right, these are my movement options, these are our get out clauses, what we can do. So you can see Lean just using this slosher just to cover turf. He's not really being aggressive. Just standing back.
Yeah, that slosher once again, something surprising here in the competition. That's Rising Moon on blue. Bye, of course, on orange once again here. They just lost the Rainmaker on the side of Rising Moon, splattered right through the air. 43 already for Rising Moon early on in the match. Dude now trying to fight back. There's the Rainmaker just on his left. Is he able to get there with a suction bomb? Great coverage. There's nowhere to move for the Rising Moon players next to the Rainmaker, but now they need to get down to actually capture it, because it's 32 on the side of Rising Moon so far. Look, dude, trying to cover as much ground as possible. Suction bomb, the bomb rush nearly finished again for him. That's very, very strong on Dude. He's great, especially on that map, since it's so easy to cut off ways on that map, since there's not much to move around. That's his chance to really shine.
The perspective shift there. You saw Dude wait for his special. As soon as he got it, he went straight in, and then you could see Sorin synchronizing his specials as well. He had the Inkzuka ready, so they had a lot of coverage and a lot of strength from their plays.
Bye once again with more possession of the map, but currently not leading. 87 for them, 32 for Rising Moon. It's now time for the team of Sendo to come back here.
So just making his way back into the fray. He's just trying to get straight in there.
Yeah, Rainmaker now on the side of Bye. Are they able to push that back? Are they really able to get map number 2 for them here in the books? They're leading right now with 1-0 in this series of the Grand Final, the ESL Go4Splatoon Grand Final here. Oh, another splat coming in for Rising Moon. And they got possession of the Rainmaker. Very well close to their own lead. 32-43 now for Bye. They're cracking going down the center.
Really good timing, and just being able to kind of, there was a little bit of a tussle, but immediately kind of came out. The 1-for-1 splat just going up on that first rise rather from the center. This is kind of a key point. What you've noticed so far is that both teams, we've always seen in both the games, Rising Moon get one big push and then suddenly Bye do this big turnaround. And again, it's reminiscent of that first game here, but Bye this time haven't been able to get the push. This is, I think, in part thanks to more towers and the way in which it's kind of built. It's very, very difficult to be able to climb up the other side of the tower. But, both teams have been able to do a good job so far just by, holding back very, very nice. Saw the movement and was leading the target with that burst bomb. So, our player got caught by it on the way through.
Yeah, Rising Moon lost the Rainmaker once again. Bye still needs to push quite a bit to make that a tie here. No shield onto the Rainmaker. Bye was trying to grab it, but Ezra was just stopping it right in front of the Rainmaker. Made that turnaround possible so far. Going for the beacon now. Some suction bombs going out, trying to regain map control. he was just giving the Rainmaker to his teammates. He was not picking it up. He was like, okay, mate, I will build the way for us to get through. You will just get the Rainmaker later on. But they lost it very, very early by still on their back three here, trying to go through. Sendo destroying the shield there.
You can just see him slowly tacking away at that shield with that Lunar Blaster. Just white again, not really, you know, just staying there, staying stoic and just doing his job whilst his teammates made their way through. Waited for, oh, that's a really good catch! That was wonderful, getting the ink on the wall on the way up and takes him down. That was actually a stunning, stunning decision.
Yeah, Sendo got caught off there. He thought, I just wanted to say that was great movement from the Kraken to the Squid and then up to the wall.
But yeah,
and that was over.
The counterplay to that was so clean.
Once again, position of the Rainmaker for Rising Moon. They're leading 24-23, down to 20, 30 seconds on the clock. Is that the end for Bai? Will they tie up the series here? On the blue side, Rising Moon still in possession of it. Was the Kraken going down? Not sure if I saw that correctly. Civil getting splattered. Another one for Bai, but it seems like they can't turn this around. Down to 14-43 for Bai. That looks like Rising Moon will win map number 2, tying up the series early on in the grand final.
It's not over until it says stop battling, which it might do in now. But I'm not saying you were wrong.
That was a nice try, yes.
I'm not saying you were wrong. I'm just saying.
No, it's okay.
There's a potential.
Yeah,
there is a potential.
Okay.
But yeah, that was really, really nice there from Rising Moon because, as I was saying, you know, they got that first push and then Bai just like, nope, and pushed straight back. And the same thing happened. But it was the stoicism to not let that happen again, you know, just to tighten their defenses and just keep pushing away.
I thought that Bai had that early on because map control was once on their side. It's a very narrow map. There's not much you can do to move around it, which seems to be one of the strengths of Rising Moon.
Yeah.
But then, as soon as they had the Rainmaker, that one time, the team just worked perfectly. They had one up in front trying to create that way for them to move the Rainmaker. Rainmaker all the way in the back. 2 supports left, right, more or less. Which is left, right on that map. It's not that far away.
Yeah.
But trying to splat everyone that comes near the Rainmaker. And it seems like Charger play wasn't that good on the side of Bai, so they didn't have the chance to really get the Rainmaker just from far away.
Yeah.
They had the higher spots. They could have done it. But it didn't work for them.
Yeah.
That was then Rising Moon taking the map.
I wouldn't, and to add into that as well, I wouldn't necessarily say that it was then necessarily misplay from from Bai with their charges, but I just think that the positioning and the movement was and the defensive movement was a lot cleaner from Rising Moon, not allowing themselves to be caught in these tricky spots where they can't move, and the Chargers have this control. I thought that was a much better job from them to consistently keep themselves, you know, moving in and out.
That's important, we all know that. And back to Valley Warehouse here. Map number 3 on the way, that's Splat Zone. 1 map on the side of Bai, 1 map on the side of Rising Moon. So far, Bai still orange, and it's blue or violet, however you want to call that color after we had that discussion today already for Rising Moon. Splat Zone, there's 1 Splat Zone just in the middle, nothing else. So not as the Splat Zone map we saw before. Dude trying to work around here, flanking the objective, trying to get on the back of Rising Moon, getting down some damage.
Yeah.
Securing it.
What I like about Walleye White House, and you'll see why, you know, we'll see a few more splash balls, is that it does have this open space in the middle, but it does have very specific choke points and flanks. So you will see these splash balls to control, you know, get the space, immediately kind of close up any advance from your opponent, or indeed get aggressive with it. So, you know, there's a little bit more variety in ways that you can approach and you can defend in Walleye Warehouse. It's you know, quite a very just had to get away there.
Disruptor onto Bings, but he backed off there from the objective. Did a nice job to cover the objective first with this slosher, but then it was too much for him, too much pressure from Bai. The guys from Sendu here trying to regain position. 79-0 for them. They're in the lead, but Inkstrike going down onto the objective by Rising Moon. No chance for them to take it, even with that Inkstrike. That was Echolocator once again, I think. Disruptor missing here. Oh, splash bomb. The scope from all the way back, getting in the splat for the side of Bai.
Sibo going.
That looks very good now. 40-45. They will go down to 79, still on the side of Rising Moon, but Cebu just jumping into it, super jumping into the action, making it happen, but onto a bubbler, no chance against that bubbler.
Yeah. I mean, Cebu did a very, very nice job of trying to get in there. He used, getting into the air so that the Lunar Blaster had a much wider hit from that AOE, but getting immediately shut down by a very aggressive Gatling and bubbler.
But that seems like you need, let's say, easy win for Bai, because it is about map control. It really seems like that's the part of the game where they can shine right now. Splat Zone, of course, is down to map control, at least around the objective, make sure that they can't even move there, they can't be fast. Did a good job here so far. They had, of course, the Slatling with them, and that was a Pro Blaster, I think.
Yeah.
That's the one I really love to play before switching to the NZAP and then going back to the 10 attack Splatter Shot.
Yeah,
I
mean
NZAP.
We noticed that that game was a little bit more, it was just quick. It was just over in a second. It was a bit of a flash, that one. It's quite difficult to wrestle control back from I think from that central point. It's quite large as well. You have to cover more ground in order to take it back. If you look at something, some of the maps have a little bit of a smaller splat zone, and something you may not always kind of consider when you're trying to mount a defense or some kind of comeback. But that is actually important, more ground to cover. So
yeah, I mean they also need to cover all the ground around it. Like when you go for a tower, you can just create that one ink way to the tower, swim onto it, maybe with a Kraken, regain the tower. It's fine. But splat zones, that's not enough. You need to have guys left, right, make sure that you cover the splat zone, and there's not a slusher sitting in the back like Bings, just doing up, up, whatever you cover, I will just this, and it's over. That didn't happen so far for Rising Moon, because Bai was really in control of the center of the map, pushing back Rising Moon to the spawn every now and then, not letting them have any chance to really get that one. Down to Hammerhat Bridge now, that's tower map number 4. And it's 2-1 so far for Bai.
Indeed,
Bai currently leading the series, but by not that much. That's
we've mostly seen this this map being played, particularly for Rainmaker. But and Splatoon as well. But this is the first time we've seen tower control. It's slow moving, so you're able to kind of like mount a counterattack on this very narrow stage a little bit quicker, or you have more time with which to coordinate that.
It's just a question of if they can adapt to that. What we saw in Splat Zone was that Rising Moon's full comp build of the team wasn't really set up to have a huge comeback on Splat Zone. Maybe they thought they will be in position early on anyway.
Yeah, again, that splash ball being used very, very nicely, but a wonderful play there from Urza, just making his way through and taking down.
Another one there, with help of his teammate, obviously. But that tower push looks very, very strong for Rising Moon so far. 36 already.
Oh yeah, this is looking
like
a great push.
Needs to do something right now.
That was the first time, I think. Oh no, it's still moving. Bai have to do something. There it is. It's finally taken control back. That was a fantastic first push from Rising Moon. 27 distance left.
But that's exactly what we saw on the last time tower as well. We saw them pushing very hard, then Bai coming back. Not really giving up the tower at all. Both teams do a great job in keeping control of the tower if they have it. But they just lose it at the choke point. Sendu coming around the corner, getting grated by that splat. Inkling thought, hey mate, this is my turf. Not getting there. Rising Moon once again in control of the tower, by not even able to put their name on the scoreboard there.
This is looking, so far, a little bit dire for Bai. They have, I mean, obviously there's plenty of time left, but, the way that Rising Moon are playing, they're going to slowly choke, the rest of this game away from, just choke it away from Bai. There just seems to be, I mean, their offense is just, it's very, it's got, multi-angled as well. And you can see the defense from Bai just get a little bit more, let's say, haggard. Ooh, that was very, very close to being taken back, but a nice splat at a very opportune moment.
Yeah, Bai won our first tower map here in the grand final, but it seems like this is a map for Rising Moon, the rising star in this competition, more or less. Nike trying to snipe there
he
wasn't really successful, but now we got the Kraken.
He did get a little bit of aggro, but then he managed to push it back, which was quite nice. You can see the team, you can see Rising Moon reacting to Nike's dominance.
Oh, great shot there.
Fantastic. Oh, wow.
The anticipation is really good. He got so much map awareness. He always sees them, but that Kraken might be a bit too early. There was no real threat onto the tower.
They managed to push it a little bit, though, and it's in one of those strange positions where it's in the middle of the air, pretty much. So, it's not obviously impossible to get to, and it's not too much more difficult, but it is a bit more difficult than...
It seems like Nike had to back off. He went for Kraken, realized that wasn't the best idea, then saw himself being in enemy turf more or less without any support, backing off from the tower, not giving by that much points there. They're on 88, 22 so far. That equals to 100. Great.
You can see Sibu there as well. Just what he did one shot, took the tower, immediately forgot about it. It was already moving. All he had to do to stop that tower from not being pushed further is by pressurizing the opponent. That's just knowledge of what is the most important objective next.
Oh, killer whale for Rising Moon. They're really in control of the map, in control of this game here for map number 4.
There's not much that Andy could have done there, really. Just he did his best with the Kraken, but when it ran out, he was just a sitting duck or a sitting squid.
Seems like by trying to come back, have a huge comeback. They've still got a minute left to do that. If they got a good push, if they're going down, like, look at this, Rising Moon down to only one inkling there on the map now. They're back to full strength soon, I guess. Yep, there they are.
1 minute left, and now you can see Bai just starting to make a little bit of headway into this long distance.
Yeah, but great positioning by Rising Moon, coming from the flank side and from the front, trying to get Bai right onto that tower.
But Bai did a fantastic job of seeing that immediate, flank, responding to it, stopping it, and that was a fantastic splat bomb. Just holding on there. There was not much Nike could have really done. He had to do something.
So sad, but we could have went for Splatastic all the way, didn't do that. That's incredible. But Ezra here once again, behind that splash wall. I know that Bowie doesn't like those word games, but that's fine. 41 for Bai, 22 for Rising Moon, 10 seconds on the clock. Seems like Rising Moon will grab map number 4 here in the grand final.
As long as the thing is now they've got the control back, as long as they can hold onto it for a little bit longer.
Ezra, backing off here. They try to create a new wall of defense, but it's not needed anymore. They won that map.
Not.
That means we'll go back to Rainmaker, mate.
Yeah. I believe that is a 2-all at this point. So locked in at 2 apiece. Let's say the midway point, or just going into the second half now of this grand final, this best of 7 here at Go4Splatoon finals between Bai and Rising Moon. So, it's very, very close at this point still. We don't know how it's going to go forward. We've had all 3 of the modes now. I believe we're going to have Rainmaker next, we said. So, again, another quick fire round that, if it's a long one, we'll be putting some work into the legs, the exercise being done. They're really, really working hard. If it's a quick one, it might, just be like, gone, done, it's over. That will be really important for the winning team going into the game afterwards.
Yeah, I love that tower was... Buy one tower on map 1, lost tower on map 4. Yeah. So there's no specific mode right now that's dominated by one side. No. That's the best for a grand final. We got a tied up series for map number 5. That's what we want to see, because I was really feared that we might see that dominant performance by one of the teams, because your performance can drop really, really hard on a live stage as soon as you go to the grand final. But both teams doing a great job so far, keeping their momentum, keeping that pace, still doing a great job, really adapting fast, because that's what Rising Moon did. Yes. Every time a team lost in this series, they came back right after on that map. That's Piranha Pit, and it's Rainmaker.
Yeah. So again,
did they change what? Wait, Nike's still, of course, the sniper here on the charge. I saw a splatling on the right. There could be a potential tent attack.
You can see that Rising Moon just got the shield explosion at the last minute, so it was very, very smart of Bai just to hold back, even though they did have the control, but that was very good. You saw that the Rising Moon player got caught in the ink, and that was an easy splat.
Yeah, but Nike was under pressure while doing that shot, and I really kudos for that, how he held on to that. He was still calm, making that one important stop for the enemy. 78 so far for the team Rising Moon, Bai on their way to get their names onto the scoreboard, trying to up against the splash wall.
Yeah, trying to move onward, but again, there's a waiting player just on that backside, just to to secure the KO. Stop the
Good
aggression.
killer whale placement by Rising Moon here, making sure that they can keep in possession of the Rainmaker.
Oh wow! See, I understand why Cebu went in there, because his teammate had just used Kraken. They'd taken the shield and he pushed beyond the Rainmaker, which then he wanted to follow up. But you could see that there was a flank from the from Bai's own Kraken.
Once again, still Rising Moon early on, dominating the map, not giving Bai a chance to even get onto the scoreboard here, while Ezra is getting one on the left, maybe one on the right. No, it's over. Rainmaker once again being the fastest mode so far, Bai not even putting their color on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that was, we've talked about it, but yeah, it's just that sudden explosion of movement, and it can just be done. And yeah, I think as soon as they got control of it, there was a little bit of a tussle, but they just managed to completely take control of it. It was really, really nice support from Rising Moon as well. They cleared the way, but also covered that the backside. Whilst it was always a consistent stream of movement. There was obviously the back and forth, but as soon as they locked in, like, this is ours, it was very, very quick, surgical.
I mean, that was an important match, because that was the first time that one of the teams was able to win 2 maps in a row.
Yes.
And now we got a 3-2 on our hands, but the next map is Splat Zones, and it really seemed like going in the favor of Bai due to map control and in coverage. We saw that the comp might be a bit wrong, a bit off on the side of Rising Moon for the last time when they went to Splat Zone.
Yeah.
So they could adapt right now and make this a way harder challenge for Bai, but winning that map means they win the grand final.
It is indeed true. Yeah, this is obviously match point for Rising Moon, and Bai have all the work to do, and they have to match exactly what you said earlier, that 2-map win streak. It may not seem like it's that big a deal, but when you've been going even, then to suddenly slip and lose that that wrestling
the
match.
rhythm.
Yeah, the rhythm of the back and forth. That's gone, and you have to kind of make that huge effort to bring it back.
Arowana Mall here.
Yeah.
For the Splat Zone, map number 4. No, 5.
Yes,
I was
map number
totally
5.
miscounting this.
Or 6.
No, wait.
Sixth.
Sixth. I was totally losing it on my
good maths,
on
my friend. Good
on my
maths.
sheet. I'm so sorry. Sabona trying to get onto the Splat Zone. You could easily drop some bombs above that, but he went for the Splat Zone right away.
And Nike was waiting.
Yeah, Nike was just like, mate, that's more or less like a gift to me. I'll just sit there and open and get you. Great job there. Dude now trying. Is it? Yeah, it was first possession for Rising Moon. 88. Dude here for the team Bai. Still on 100. Killer Whale coming down right across the objective. Not splatting anyone so far. Sabo is still on the objective, trying to secure it. Yes, Bubble on the left, turning around, not making it, but he got away without getting killed by the Bubble, but then splatted.
Yeah.
I think it was Nike from the back.
Just a little bit too much pressure. It could have been Dude as well. A little bit too much pressure, I think. He was doing a very good job to deal with as much as he had, but it just caved. The defense caved. But yeah, a valiant effort.
Yeah, there's no way to go head-to-head against the Bubble. It doesn't work. We all know that.
Yeah.
But 94 points so far for Bai, while it's 84 now for Rising Moon. Seems like they get an early lead here. Counter stopped by Bai very, very early on this one. Sabo under pressure right in the middle, trying the ambush. Jumping out, Squirform doing it. Getting the splat done. It's Nike still on his snipe here. Waiting. Killer Whale was activated by Bai. What is he doing?
He's
looking at the wall.
Yeah, he's just making sure about whether or not the right-hand side was safe. Oh, crikey, that was very close.
That's the good thing about the third-person view. You have a chance to see something where you're not really standing, like looking around corners.
The AoE there from the Lunar Blaster just kind of going around the corner, keeping Sabo safe.
Rising Moon 6C for them soon. Yep, Bai still on 79. That looks good for Rising Moon here. Once again getting splatted on the side. By the .52 Gal, we didn't saw that weapon that often so far. While we expected it to be one of the main weapons today.
Yeah.
Like putting down the damage with all the support you can provide.
Yeah, and the extra range will definitely help as well with Arowana when you're definitely trying, when you're going up, into that kind of bowl in the center. That excess range allows you just to be a little bit safer.
10 now, 10 points for Rising Moon to win the grand final here in Paris. 7 now, just quickly stopped.
This is it. They're going to go for the final push.
Do it.
And they've done it. 4-2 in favor of Rising Moon. They take the Go4Splatoon Cup finals over by, which is 4 players from other who have been in previous teams coming together to create this brand new team, and they take it over by who have 3 players who are consistently play together alongside Nike, who's a brilliant charger player.
It seems like he was in control of his part of the map, but he didn't have an impact on the objective. He made sure that they could move around freely.
Yeah.
But his team was not able to push onto the objective. We saw Sabor always being on the objective, always being some kind of hidden, chucking around, making sure that he's still there. Even if they're not in possession of the objective, he was there. He made sure we got someone to jump on, and that just gave them the win. There was no one of Team Bai really on the objective, keeping onto it.
It's important, I think it's kind of key to say that that even though there was a lot of damage control being done, there was no push back. And you can only do so much defending. You have to attack to win.
At one point, you need the objective.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. Yeah, I mean you can defend it all you want, and that's fine. But you need to take it. And I think it's very important what you said. Yeah, that there was a lot of control, but not enough offense in that final game. But they tried. Obviously, they did try. I'm not saying they were just sitting there going, nope, no offense for us. We're fine just standing back. But Rising Moon just did a really good job of neutralizing that. Neutralizing the offense and then immediately countering, and that was the difference in that final game.
Yeah, really, we had an awesome final here. We saw great games in the semifinals already. We saw Splatoon 2 in the show match, but that grand final really proved the potential of Splatoon as an esports, because that was back and forth on all the maps. We saw totally different play styles sometimes from the teams adapting, turning it around, making sure that they have a chance to win this grand final. But it was Rising Moon coming out at the top, and that's why we go back to the stage and see what James and the winner have to say.
Thanks a ton, Rene. Thanks, Bowie. Indeed, a great last final game there. 4-2 was the final score, and can we have a huge round of applause for our victors once more here in the studio? There you go. So, as promised, you guys each get one of these brand new Nintendo Switches. We'll start with this side. There we go. And keep on going. There we go. Let's do this as fast as possible. And indeed, yes, we had a great day. Don't drop it. Lots of amazing plays today. And I am going to ask Binks to come this way and answer a few quick questions. You must be incredibly happy of your team right now. What's going through your mind at this moment?
Actually, I remember when the ESL started, this team didn't exist yet, and I was thinking what it would be like to play at ESL, to play with such strong teams, and I was wondering if I had the level, and now I'm here. I won, we won, and it's fabulous.
So what is it like to be here, to play at this level? What does it feel like to play in front of so many people, to play in front of so many people online, and to win?
It's crazy, it's nothing like when we play at home. There's the public crying.
Okay, so Splatoon 2 is coming out in summer of this year. I'm guessing you are going to jump on the game, grab it, and are you going to phone your mates and get the team back up on Splatoon 2 when it comes out?
Surely, yes.
Do you have one last message to send out to the fans, to the people watching us today? One last sentence you want to utter out to the world today?
I'm very proud to win this. We don't dominate the European scene, but today we are the best and it feels good.
There you go. Well, once again, Rising Moon rises and is our grand champion. A huge congratulations to you, Binks, and to your teammates for coming this far. I'll let you get back to your team, and guys, stick around. Just stay here for the cameras because you look amazing with those Nintendo Switches. once again, Nintendo Switch has come out not long ago, and the game Splatoon 2 is going to be out in summer of this year, and this is going to be it for today. This is going to be it, but we are going to switch quickly to say a last goodbye to Rene and our casters up there. Rene, Bowie, how are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling as we log off today this tournament? Rene, Bowie.
Yeah, we're here. Don't worry.
Yeah,
We're not running
okay.
away. I mean, you forgot us for the switches. I didn't saw a switch here on the desk for us.
Yeah, I was looking
But
around,
hey,
but yeah.
Yeah, he didn't forget us for the buy. That's great. I hope the community like what we did on Splatoon here. ESL is very proud to present the Nintendo game, Nintendo eSports on Splatoon. Why are you laughing?
Well, no,
He's like, yeah, I should.
I found the wording endearing, my friend.
He was like, I would have wished that I became a player.
Oh, well, no,
being on the stage. But
It's
no.
good fun. I mean, you were saying it earlier, and I think that's kind of the most important thing here is that it's always nice to to let these players really play and show the potential that this game has as a competitive game and as an esport, because we know that it's definitely something that the community and the players want, and it's nice to have that dialogue with Nintendo and kind of have these events come up, and you could see on the players' faces, even if some of them are stoic, they're happy to be here and happy to play and happy to compete in this way. But as again, a pleasure obviously to cast this, and to work with you, Rene. Pleasure as always, sir. Good stuff. So thank you very much. And
Thank you for being here. That's it.
My pleasure as well. We hope you guys enjoyed it. That's me. I'll sign off and I'll leave it to you. So cheers.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see each other in a Splatoon Cup soon. Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2. It doesn't really matter because all of them is fun. I play all of them. They're great. Jump in there, try yourself. That was a great ending. But before leaving Paris and before leaving here at the studio with Splatoon, we go back to James.
Well, Rene, Bowie, thanks a ton for being with us, and thank you guys who are watching us, not just for following today, but also for taking part in the tournament so far. We know that hundreds of you guys took part, and only 4 teams qualified this time, but maybe next time will be your time. So in the meantime, from all of us here at the studio, from ESL and from Nintendo, we'd like to say a huge last thank you, a huge goodbye. Stay fresh.